Say it with me. A true football Friday, right? A true football Friday. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, listen, I know that pennant races are starting to line up. You know, you're starting to gear up for that. Who's going to make it? Do the Phillies go far? I get it. They may. Actually, they may get all the way to the NFC East this year and take on those Dodgers, and maybe that happens. Maybe that happens. But right now, I know this. Tonight, we have football. What is it? Tennessee, Atlanta, Kansas City, and Seattle. Then Saturday, we have ball. Then Sunday, we have ball. We even have Monday Night Football. Is this a Super Bowl rehearsal? The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Washington Redskins. Say it with me. That sounds that sounds right. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Washington Redskins in Santa Clara for the Super Bowl. Man, that's got a nice sound to it. How you doing? Man. Joe Burrow takes his team to the Super Bowl for the second time, and they end up winning it this time. One of the top quarterbacks in pro football, if not the best quarterback in pro football, takes his team back to another one, and he wins it by carrying a shitty Bengals team. That sounds right. I like it. Hit the like button. Super chats go to the top here on a Football Friday. Oh, by the way, because of popular demand, I know Bernie Kosar, Jim Kelly, whole bunch of people we've had over the last 10 days, Joy Taylor, whomever, backed by popular demand and playing hurt will be our friend Philly 500 and also Mark Combs, the Dallas Cowboy King creator, will be with us at 4:30, and we will have that. How you doing? By the way, we know this. More people are tuning in now because one of these stations in Philadelphia have gone Easy Jazz. It's now 97.5 Easy Jazz. You even got a host on that network now begging for callers. I mean, you talk about Mickey Mouse Radio and amateur radio. You got a guy actually begging, hey, please don't listen to WIP. Listen to me. Why would they listen to you? You're okay. And by the way, you're welcome. We gave you a shot here at the title, even though we weren't paying you, but, you know, you were like an intern here. And we gave Bill Coloruto, the intern, a great opportunity to be a sports broadcaster. You see, interns don't get paid. So in my eyes, he was an intern. That's why I never did his show. I don't go on intern shows. Hey, Hoss, like I said, I don't do interns. And now you're begging for callers. Holy shit. No wonder people look to us and come here and watch our show more than ever before. I mean, I get it, man. How you doing? Hey, please come here. Easy Jazz 97.5. Hey, Easy Jazz 97.5. The Coastline. Hey, with your new, right here, hey, get this. We're going to play ABBA for you. Oh, my on, man. So pull up a chair. Welcome aboard with us here on a Football Friday. Now, look, I'm going to say something to some of you. Listen, guys, today's show, I think some of you may have to tune off. I'm imploring some of you. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Some of you, you're going to have to tune out. Go ahead. Tune out. I want you to. I want you to go to Easy Jazz or WIP because, yeah, this is going to be, and we're going to have a reality talk here. All the things that we have said in the offseason so far on August 15th, they're true. It's like we're Nostradamus of sports. We've said it. And we're going to talk about the all holes defense. I mean, on August 15th, you have no clear-cut winner at corner safety. The edge rushing room, is Jalix Hunt getting better or is he getting worse? I'm not sure. You may be forced to keep 2 Temu guys because you're not really kind of nobody separated themselves at any one of these jobs. Even the linebacker. I guess Hal Trotter's winning that other linebacker gig. You know how he's winning it? Because he's been the most consistent guy, not because he's excelled. I mean, where have you excelled? Where anybody has stepped up and taken the jobs? Where? Keely Ringo's not even taking first-team reps anymore. Remember what we said? You're not replacing Slay. You're not replacing Gardner Johnson. This was the number one heartbeat of our show in the offseason, that you're not replacing these guys. Moro Jomo, I guess. Nobody's replacing Josh Sweat. Every single show. And all of you were under the spell of the Super Bowl haze. And you guys thought because you won the Super Bowl that these guys were they're not performing well. Nobody at all is separating themselves at any one of those open positions. Not one of them. Not one of them. Get this. You see this guy? Well, because everything I said months ago, thank you very much. It's true. Thank you, Colostomy Cooper. I appreciate that. Hey, Colostomy Bag Cooper, I appreciate that. Because that's exactly what we said months ago. So here we even got this guy, Colostomy Bag Cooper, is confirming what we have been saying. You really thought you were going to replace these guys? Hey, wait a minute. No. So if you thought, wait a minute, Jessica, if you thought you were coming here to hear fucking cheerleading, you need to go to the Minnesota Vikings where they got that dude up there cheerleading in that cheerleading crowd, or you need to go over to 97.5. This is what I just said. You should not want to watch the show then. Absolutely. You should not. This is not for you because we cover things and we stay on things because, again, we've got to be held accountable like you guys held me accountable in 2024, right? So far, I haven't seen shit. It's August 15th. Where in the world have you gotten better since February 10th? Where? Nowhere. You haven't even had good practices in the passing game. Get this, okay? The all holes defense has more question marks than ever before. Nothing's been, don't you find it weird? Nothing's been solidified. And get this, once again, see this guy? Spit? Practice? Yeah, because that's what you use to evaluate players and elevating players. Yes. I'm only going by what you do, dickbag. You guys value practice. You guys don't value the preseason games. You value the joint practices. Yes. So what are you going to do, Spit? Are you really going to fucking draw it up on a piece of paper and say, hey, we're good? Of course you would, because you know why? You have no brain cells. You're not very smart, guy. You're the king of L's. This show is for people with thick skin, not Similac. Some of these people in here want a fucking binky. We were so much better than the league last year. Now, that's a great take. That's a great take, General, in the fact that you guys had set the bar so high that whatever it was going to be this year was always going to be a downgrade. Seals, hope you're having a great Friday. Go Birds. Carlson, thank you so much, my friend. I hate to say it, we are better off bringing Bradbury back at this point. No, I'd rather hang with Keely Ringo than him. Who else in the league got better? That's not the point. You got worse. You got closer to the worst teams. See, it doesn't have to be that way. He went like this. Who got better? That's not the point. You got worse, which meant you closed the gap. They didn't close the gap on you. Some of those teams stayed the same. Maybe got a little better, but you got a lot worse. Now, again, you were so good. You were so good that the bar was so high. General, that was a really good take. You're right. You had set the expectation so high. Last year, aura was creepy. This year's aura, oh, hell no. We'll see. Okay? Absolutely. There is no doubt. General was right. You got more. Hey, dude, you have not answered any questions that I've been asking you. Do you think I do those topics just to fucking throw bullshit out at you? I kept asking you, who's replacing Slay? Who's replacing Sweat? Who's replacing Gardner Johnson? Who's replacing Nakobe Dean? Who's replacing Milton Williams? And you still haven't fucking answered me. And it's August 15th. You're not the most talented roster in the league. When you've got how are you the most talented roster in the league? When you've got 5 holes you still haven't secured yet on who's going to start. The only guy that you have really said that is going to start is Moro Ajomo. I guess Trotter. You have no safety yet. You have no corner yet, and it's August 15th. You have no depth. You don't even know who's starting at left guard right now. Okay? You don't. Get this. General, who's more talented? I didn't say who's more talented. Once again, try listening, guy. You've backed your team up to the rest of the group of the NFL. You're one injury away from disaster. You don't have the depth you had a year ago. We got worse today, but better tomorrow. Okay, that's another great take. Yes. The other topic that we brought up, they thought more of 26 and 27. Everybody, no. Where in the world have you solidified a starting position? Do you guys really, who's starting at safety right now? Who's starting at safety? You don't know. Who's starting at corner? You don't know. Jalix Hunt's not even getting first-team reps right now. He's getting second-team reps. Keely Ringo is doing so bad, they don't even have him with the first unit. You guys were telling me, like M. Reyes, all-pro Ringo. What happened? He's not even practicing with the first group. He's actually, before you know it, by next week, he should be practicing with the third team. And you've invested 3 years in that guy. Corner's not the only question. Who's starting in that safety position? You don't fucking know who's starting there yet. It's a douchebag answer. Oh, pro Ringo, baby. Yeah, okay. That's my boy. NJ Fishing Maniac is my man. He's been here since day one. I mean, I don't care what you guys say. August 15th, you guys haven't answered one fucking question right now on any of the positions that we have brought up. By the way, I mean, you don't even know who your depth is at your offensive line. I heard John saying this, that they've got a bunch of offensive linemen that they believe that are quality NFL offensive linemen. Then why do they have a battle at guard? And by the way, the drop-off from Landon Dickerson to the guys that they may have really good players, but we don't know that. Every single one of the guys that they're going to play at right and left guard have limited experience. But again, you're putting more faith in the coaches than you are in the players that actually play. Here, get this. You keep missing the point. You see a guy like this, he misses the point. You completely don't understand the Eagles at all. You have no understanding of your team when you make a comment like this. Panicking? No. I'm asking questions. I'm not fucking panicking. Why would I panic? Preseason, you don't play preseason football. You don't know your own team. This guy here does not know the Eagles. I'd say this, 20% of you don't know your own team. Because if you don't know how they evaluate with practice and with the joint practices, I can't help you. I'm not really going to go to you. And I'm not going to use your takes because you don't know your own fucking football team. Okay? Here. That's a good take. Okay? Get this. Your team will skip Bayless at this point, Basement GM. Thanks for the $2. Appreciate it, LJ. You better learn how this NFL works. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. Believe me. Okay? You don't get it. 20% of you don't know your own football team and how they operate. Sills, you said the same. I know I did. Okay. Well, then, Prince, we're going to find out. I will be right. You will be wrong. By the way, Prince, I am 1,000% sure of that. I'll be right. You'll be wrong. Sills, would you ever coach at any level starting from I've been asked. I was asked to coach in North Carolina, at the University of Miami, the Cleveland Browns, and I was asked to be in the personnel department with the Raiders, with Ken Herrick and with Bruce Allen when he was the general manager of the Oakland Raiders. I was asked. Instead, I took the job as being part of the broadcast team for the Oakland Raiders. Everyone winning jobs are winning by sucking less. We're always going to take a step back, though, on D. I've been seeing all offseason, Jalen will have to take a step forward for us to be contenders. Well, so far, I haven't seen that. But you know what? The only reason that Jalen Hurts is getting a pass is because they won the Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody says. All I've heard from people that have been at practice, they've said that the offense has struggled. Well, he's the catalyst to the offense, is he not? Now, again, you get the benefit because you won the Super Bowl. Okay, last year he was great when he came to the preseason and he was in camp. Everyone said how good he was doing. And they went on, they didn't even need him. They used the run game. Meanwhile, you've proved nothing. The regular season hasn't started yet. I didn't say I proved anything. I said you haven't proved anything on who's starting at those respected positions I've asked. You're not fucking listening, Mark. Try listening. It's August 15th, and you have no fucking clear-cut answers at any of the questions that I've been asking you all offseason. Try fucking focusing. 2-year-olds have a 2-minute time expectancy when it comes to an attention span. What is your excuse? Okay? I'm asking you, August 15th, you haven't answered one fucking question. Maybe Moro Ajomo. Maybe. Okay? Bro, you're wrong. I was right in 21, 22, 23, and right now I'm starting out right. Every fucking question I asked, we're still asking it on August 15th. As the preseason a year ago started to wind down, we started seeing where Vic was going with it. The only open job was the linebacker. Nobody knew who was going to play that off backer next to Dean. Nolan Smith. Who's the other guy? Aziz Ujulari and Atoa Uchekuchi or Jalix Hunt? Okay? Yeah. You're right. The other three, dead on. Nails to the balls. Nail on. Guys were telling me at 10-1 how fucking good you were. Everybody from my network to everybody around Philadelphia, people were calling for my job, and I'm going, you suck. You're not that good. Right. Asking questions doesn't necessarily mean you're correct. I didn't say I was correct. I'm asking you, You have no fucking clear-cut decisions yet. It's August 15th. And guess what? You have no understanding at all on who's taking these jobs. And by the way, this guy here has to pay me for my attention. This is why we blow this dude off. But hey, you've been the same questions every offseason. You answer them in the season by winning or down. Year is 10-plus wins. Get new sources other than whatever. Thanks for the $5. Appreciate it. You have to pay for my fucking attention, guy. I will never comment with you because you're here for the algorithm. YouTube loves you. Other than that, I have no need for you. Okay? You are over there. And if you want my attention, you will pay for my attention. Some of you don't. Most of you don't. He does. He will pay for my attention. Okay? That's it. End of story. I appreciate the algorithm, but you will pay from now on for my attention. Okay? That's where you are in my world now. Okay? That's it. Dude, you are irrelevant unless you pay for my attention. Damn right, James. Because you're a hell of a guy when you come in here. Okay? Absolutely. Same with Abe. All of you. Pay for my attention again. Basement GM. I could do this all day. Dance, fatty. Great. Thanks for paying for my attention. Kyle doesn't have to because he supports the channel. And we love Kyle. Everyone expecting 13 wins, but let's go cheap again on defense. Kyle, you know how much we love you and we appreciate it so much. Thank you. Keep paying for my attention, LJ. You're like a hooker. But TX, I appreciate you, brother. What's this? Hold on for a second. Getting mad? Why would I get mad at something that pays for my attention? How in the world would I get mad at somebody buying my attention? Curious. Does the back of the defense worry you a lot? Absolutely, man. You haven't picked up. You don't even know where you're going with it yet. Harv, thank you very much. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Each year, there should always be scrutiny and questions. You cannot be objective if you're not honest. The truth is, there's too many questions to think it's going to be that easy. I have to see it. Harv, great. And I appreciate you supporting us. Absolutely true, my friends. Absolutely true. Hey, dude, that's all we're doing here. I'm not making an indictment. I'm asking you, you have not had anybody push themselves ahead in the all-holes defense so far that has solidified questions being answered. Let me ask you guys this. Okay? Sure. How about this? Let's see here. Have you answered questions at safety? Let's watch the lies in here. Let me ask you this, guys. Have you answered the questions at safety? Yes or no? And I know by a percentage of how many of you are idiots. How have you answered the question at safety? Yes or no? Get this. Sidney Brown can't tackle. Get this. You see this guy? You played 157 plays a year ago in base. What a fucking dumbass answer. 157 fucking plays is his take. Talk about ignorance. That's why I told you, even if you're right about the D, Jalen has to be able to pick up the slack. One more TD, one more field goal. If Jalen's tier 1, then we can do it. Okay. David, that's a great take. In base packages, I mean, you played 150 plays in base. Once again, paying for my attention. Avoid facts like you avoid fruits and veggies. Thank you for paying for my attention. Thank you. Appreciate it. Sidney Brown should be a ass model. Guy sucks at ball. I don't know if he sucks. He's just not a very good tackler. Okay? I'm asking you, have you answered the question at safety so far? Not making an indictment. You tell me. Have they answered the question so far with 1 week of camp left? Have they answered safety? Yes or no? Is Jacoby and Jihad going to start at the same time? No, that'll be a great problem when it becomes an issue for him. Let me ask you again. We'll see. Okay, so according to you, KCA Eagle. Okay, a little bit. Then you haven't answered it. Have you answered the question at corner? This just in, douchebag. There's 2 safeties, a free and a strong. So let me help you out a little bit here, okay? In an NFL defense, there's 2 safeties, free and strong. Just so you know, okay? Football 101. Okay. We ain't playing. You evaluate on the joint practices. And practice. That's how Vic picks you to play. That's how Bryce Huff was demoted. One more time. Okay. He sucks. Okay? So safety's not answered. Corner's not answered. Who's the other edge? Jalen Hunt's not even getting first-team reps right now. And you know what the excuse is? He's fucking traveling. Once again, I really appreciate this guy paying for my attention. I really don't care what he's saying. But I have to because you know why? It's supporting the channel and we appreciate it. Can't answer a question until the season starts. Ask your source, whatever. And Reddit boards, they will say the same thing. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for paying for my attention. I appreciate it. Bro, he's cooking? Buying my attention? Sure. He can do it all day. People can buy my attention any day they want. I'm all good with it. Where does the D need to be ranked for the Eagles to win a Super Bowl? I think in the top 12. I love it. I could do this all day too. Anybody that wants to buy my attention, absolutely sure. Your take sucks more than, not sure who that is on a Friday. Thank you for the paying of my attention. I appreciate it. Please have them, keep them coming. I don't mind people paying me for my attention. I absolutely do not. Because personally, I could give a fuck what your takes are or what you're saying. But if you want to buy my attention, I am here for you. Absolutely true. Okay? Let's see here. Practice is an interview. I love that. I love that. 11-6, if we find our holes, remind me of my, first time. Rizzy, very good. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you. Curtis, Sidney below average. Reed is average. Where's his contract? You're paying Reed Blankenship $15 million. That'll be a fucking colossal disaster. John wants to pay him $15 million. What? Yeah, okay. Why did you trade the best safety you had? I mean, why did you trade your best safety? You're going to wait. So get this. I'm going to pay Reed Blankenship $15 million, and he was a lesser player to Gardner Johnson. Hey, that sounds really like a Howie move. Actually doesn't. Once again, thank you for paying for my attention. This guy flip-flops more than a Mexican sandal. Thank you very much for paying for my attention. I could do it all day too. Have at it, kid. Keep it up. Because other than that, seriously, dude, honestly, man, you're like a piss I take at night. I have to go to you because you're paying for my attention. Okay? Why should we reward players who go against the scheme and freelance? Okay? Well, ask yourself this, Michael. Gardner Johnson's impact on the team was what, in your opinion, in 2 years playing with the Eagles? Let me see. He went to 2 Super Bowls, had 12 picks, finished first in turnovers and picks, and second in turnovers. I don't know. I might think that is a guy who was important because his 2 years in Philly resulted in an NFC championship and a Super Bowl. Just me. These people don't know how to take you, Sills. Too sensitive and act like they need a in a bottle. How you doing? Keep cooking, Sills. I love this guy. Absolutely true. Hey, look at this guy. I got to hand it to him. This guy really is dying to get my attention. I fucking love it. Yeah. Haven't seen an Italian cry this much since World War II. Okay, thanks for paying for my attention. Absolutely great. And Reyes doesn't have to pay for my attention. You're a donut. Go Birds. Complete and repeat. Yeah, okay. And Reyes doesn't have to. I love it here. There's a few dudes in here from now on who will be paying for my attention. And LJ's one of them. Sills, no on safety, no on cornerback 2, maybe on right guard. The hot hand will play edge week to week. So you're replacing Josh Sweat by committee. Is that right, Bob? Bob, these are the only questions that we're asking today. So you're going to tell me that you're replacing Josh Sweat by committee when I told you that you didn't have the people to replace him. So you're replacing a guy by committee. Okay? Replacing the guy by committee. You haven't found a corner and a safety yet worth of shit. Sidney Brown is not a good player right now. He may be, but he's not. He can't tackle. Don't you think being a safety, one of the priority things that you have to do is be a tackler? And he's not. Get this. Listen to this one. You're acting like Sweat is Lawrence Taylor. Well, on that team with fucking Tumu guys that you have, he is Lawrence Taylor. You don't have anybody replacing him. On your team, he is LT. And you're going to replace him by committee? Okay. Well, so far you haven't. I mean, right? How you doing? Holy cow. Man. This guy's not ready either. Not you, King. Do you think Makuba will start over Brown? Yeah, I do. You know why? He's a better tackler. You're not going to put Sidney Brown in a position where, get this, you got fucking receivers running around in the secondary, and he can't get guys on the ground. Give me Makuba. At least he's a tackler. I want surefire tacklers in the first 4 games of the season. Don't you? Right? You want people to get people on the ground. Brown can't get people on the ground. He can't tackle. Is he a good player? Yes. He does everything right except one thing. Tackling. Jesus criminy. Running, catching, tackling. That's one of the 3 expected things in football, is it not? I mean, give me a break. And like I said, I want to go back and I want to make sure that we're sitting here and we're being okay. I'm not telling you anything right now. What I'm telling you is on August 15th, you still have a ton of questions that are not answered. Sills, yes, that's what they are doing. They're replacing Sweat by committee, with a hope of Hunt will take it. Okay. Hope is not a strategy. That is not a strategy. I hope he can do it. Dude, Sidney Brown has shown me nothing on being a first-time starting type safety. He's shown me nothing. How can you say he has? Sills, maybe because Sidney Brown can't tackle because he's Canadian. Oh, man. I don't know. They got a lot of open space in the Canadian League. That's for damn sure, okay? Here, again, got to hand it to this guy. Paying for my attention. If we repeat, you go on a diet, no more diabetes. Thanks for paying for my attention, kid. Go back and sit in your corner now and open up your wallet some more. Okay? Only way you get my attention, son. Trust me. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. We appreciate it. But quite frankly, honest to God, I love the fact that you finally have gotten it. You'll never get my attention ever again unless you pay for it. If they were concerned about repeating this year, they would have beefed up the edge. They are trying to win again and be cap friendly in 26 and 27. You don't have to think that, Chip. You're right. Okay, Sidney can hit. He sure can. And he's not a bad tracker. But can't tackle big, and that's right. Chip, that's a fair, okay? That is a fair way of looking at it. Absolutely, Kim. It's rearing its head more. That losing, they can't replace Slay. They just can't replace Slay. And they haven't replaced Gardner Johnson yet. Absolutely. Okay? No, not spicy. Having a good time. It's a football Friday. Spicy? You mean truthful. You mean truthful. Still's getting Arab money. Yeah, that's funny. Hey, Arab money today, I don't know, man. Might be worth a ton. Abu Dhabi and all that, I'm okay with that. Sills, you think we see more blitzes, especially with Campbell and some secondary guys that will struggle? Maybe. Look, it's not going to look anything near what it did a year ago. Okay? Sills, trust, I know you're having I'm having a blast. You know, see, I've never seen this guy here too much, but I'm seeing him more and more, and it didn't take him long to get it. Good for you, kid. Good for you. You get it. You do. I get it. Most of you do get it. Seals, do you think Howie may be relying too much on the draft this offseason, especially at safety, when he didn't have to trade Gardner Johnson, who brought so much intensity to the defense? Yeah, probably. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see Texas boy here. By the way, his boy, Mark Holmes, comes in at 4:30. Imagine paying money, Sills. Read people comments for free in here. I've never paid, and he read my comments. I read your comments. Dude, you don't have to pay. It's appreciative. But there's certain dudes that have to pay for my attention moving forward. He's one. I don't really care. But I appreciate him supporting the channel. So I read them. The Texas boy. I go to everybody, actually. Okay? There's just certain dudes that from now on will have to pay for my attention. And he's top of the list. I mean, seriously, I don't even see it anymore unless it's a super chat. And I appreciate the algorithm. Sills, why don't they try Ringo at safety? Okay? He fits the mold better. Once you stop giving a shit, Sue. Let's see here. So what's your take on the 49ers versus the Eagles' current state? Niners are going to have a bounce-back season because they're not playing anybody. McCaffrey looks healthy, And I do believe that the 49ers are going to be one of those surprise teams that are going to make a jump back into it. I don't think they're as talented as the top 5 teams in the NFC, but I think they could get better by the end of the year. It's all going to determine on how well they play in the defensive tackle position and that offensive line. But I think the Niners are going to have a good year this year. I think they could win 11, 12 ball games. It's the 4th easiest schedule in pro football. Not saying that they're the 4th best team in football, but they just are not going to be playing anybody outside of the NFC West. Now, the NFC West is going to be an improved division. I think the Rams are going to be really good. I think Seattle's going to be a good team, and I think Arizona's going to be a much improved team. Okay? I mean, I do. Hope should be up. Their schedule sucks. Bro, don't you get that's what the NFL does? You suck, they give you a shitty schedule. And then they give you pie in the sky stuff. Niners Super Bowl window's closed. No, it's not. That's a dumb comment. You know it. And you don't really believe it. The Super Bowl window's closed. Right. Okay. It's closed. Like, who did they lose that really was anything significant? Name me a guy. Maybe Hufanga? Okay. Who else? You guys are ripping Debo and calling him fat. Okay, I see. So he's a loss to the Niners, but he sucks in Washington. Which is it? One or the other? Or both? Is that how you look at it? Knowing Eagle fans, that's how you see it. Seals, who do you think will be the 7th seed in the NFC when it comes to the playoffs here? Let me see here, okay? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eagles, Rams, Lions, Commanders, Green Bay, Minnesota. I think Chicago. Chicago will be the 7th seed, in my opinion, in the NFC side. As of today, barring it, no injuries right now, I got Eagles, Rams, Lions, Commanders, Green Bay, Minnesota, and Chicago as your playoff team so far. So those will be the teams that and I think San Francisco's going to have a shot. So I probably should take Minnesota. I'll take Minnesota out of there and put San Francisco at 6 and put them in that position there. Okay? San Francisco may win more games than the Niners, but I don't know they're going to be – or San Francisco may win more games than the Rams, but I don't know they'll be a better team than the Rams because the Rams are going to play some really good football teams this year. Okay? Let's see here. No, he's not. He was hurt. An entire division can't make the playoffs. Is that what we did here, Rams? Where's the entire division? Green Bay, Lions. That's why I took Minnesota out. Put San Fran in there. Oh, Chicago. Minnesota's – the North doesn't make the entire playoffs. That's why we took Minnesota out. We put Chicago in there and San Francisco at the bottom. Eagles, Rams, Lions, Commanders, Green Bay, San Francisco, and Chicago. Minnesota, they'll get 3 teams like they did a year ago out of the NFC North. They had 3 teams a year ago come out of the North, and they will again. The North's the best division in the NFC. The NFC West has a shot at being pretty good. Okay, they do. They have a pretty good shot. 49ers have potential. 9 rookies starting. Can't make this shit up. 49ers are cooked. No wide receiver. Okay, again, like I said, dude, the 49ers play the 3rd or 4th worst schedule in pro football. They're going to be okay. Can't make this shit up. You got 5 new starters on defense. And yet you sit there and think, get this, you see that guy? Hold on, what did he say? So he just took a shot at the 49ers saying that they got 9 starters starting that are new. You got 5 on defense, but that doesn't affect you, right? Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Okay, right? All right. Brandon Ayuk and Pearson are not a threat. I think actually they are because the quarterback actually spreads the football around in San Francisco. Let's see here. Ethan, you Gucci family, you don't be emotional like that. Not sure what you're talking. I timed him out for less time. His bangers and super chats help the channel. Let's go. Absolutely. Oh, hey, NJ Fishing Maniac. Oh, I appreciate LJ donating to the channel. Some people have to buy my time. Okay? They have to buy my time and buy my attention. Some don't. Most don't. 99% of the people don't. Some do. And from now on, some are going to be put in that box. And if you don't like it, fucking too bad. Because as long as the Eagles don't come into the playoffs as a seventh, I don't believe they're going to be down there. Okay, I do not believe they're going to be down near like 6, 7, 8, or excuse me, 5, 6, 7. I don't think they're going to go down there. Okay, I do not believe that. Okay, let's see here. Seals, I love it. Those, hey, it's all good. Hey, man, listen. Like I said, I welcome everybody. Nobody gets banned. Okay, nobody gets banned. Okay, all right. Let me right. Hey, wait a minute. Calling his lawyer for what? Because I told you had to pay for my attention? I'm suing Sileo because Sileo, I have to pay for his attention. That's quite a lawsuit. I love it. Put him in line. There's a long line of those. Right next to Jeff McClain's sorry ass. Put him in line. This is an offseason for the Birds. Honestly, wouldn't mind if they trust the process and get a high draft pick and get Lane's replacement. I think Lane's playing his best football, actually. I do. Hey, I wouldn't doubt somebody calling a lawyer on Big Sills because you know why I don't give your attention, or because I have harsh words. Hey, what is Sileo guilty of? Harsh words. Oh, I got it. Harsh words. Interesting. It's too bad. I told you at the beginning of the program that this might not be a day for you. Even though it's a football Friday and we're talking about the all holes defense. I mean, really? How can that be? If so, we ain't going to the ball according to Sills, and that's the scenario. I just said this to you, Ethan. Once again, don't try to be so sensitive, dog. On August 15th, you have not answered any question I asked you in the offseason. And we went back in our notepad and we asked these same questions. Who's taking over for Slay? Do you really believe that somebody's going to roll in here and take over for Slay or take over for Gardner Johnson or Milton or Josh? And you're further away. Keely Ringo is so far down the depth chart right now, he needs a miner's hat with the light on it to see through the tunnel. This dude's so far down the depth chart, honestly, he's got to holler to let everyone know he's safe. Sills, do you have more trust that Makuba? Yes, because Makuba can tackle. Makuba can tackle. Sydney can't. Dude, you got columnists. Xander, can you do me a favor, man? Post that line. I forget who wrote it about Sydney. What did he say? Gored him to the sideline? He's even telling you in his column writing about Sydney that he's not a good tackler. I mean, he's even writing in the column. on what a guy who's out there watching practice telling you. This guy's just not very good at getting guys on the ground. Okay? Right? I mean, I'm just asking, what's the scenario? Championship loss? I don't know yet. Ethan, okay, let me say this to you. I don't know yet, but I don't know who's playing yet. Okay? I don't know who's playing. I'll let you know when I know who's going to get and who's playing. Also, Vic is strict in that he won't say something is decent if it's below par. Of course he won't, because that's who he is, man. Of all the coaches that they have on that coaching staff who gives you the real deal, it is the defensive coordinator. And what I love about the coordinator without a doubt echoes everything I fucking say. Everything I say, that guy echoes. Okay? So we're going to get off this one. The all holes defense as of August 15th. And how about this? Maybe we should rename it the question mark defense. That's what we'll do because they haven't played. How about this? The unknown defense. You know how you have the no name? That's it. The unknown defense. That's what we'll name it from now on moving forward. It's not the all holes because I don't know that. So let's go this. The unknown defense. There's your new name. The unknown defense. On August 15th. And why is it the unknown defense? Well, unknown who starts at corner. Unknown who starts at safety. Unknown who starts at the other edge. Unknown who starts at left guard. That's actually offense, but we're good. All right. So it's the new name. It's the unknown as of August 15th. It's the unknown defense. Okay? All due respect, you laughed at Xander's face when he called last year's defense the no-holds defense. Xander was right. Congratulations. What the fuck do you want me to say? Great. Congratulations. I'm calling it the unknown. Okay? August 15th, 2025. The unknown fucking defense. I don't care if you like it or not. See the new book that came out? Where's Ringo? He's 15 on the depth chart. Hello! Anybody out there? Hello! Anybody up there? Hey! Keely Ringo! I'm up here. Oh, no, I'm not up here. I'm down here. Help! This dude's screaming help, and no one's throwing him a buoy. Help! Ringo Island? He is on Ringo Island. On fourth team. Holy shit. Yeah. Hey, the unknown defense. That's what you got going on. All right. So I saw something pretty fucking cool. I did. I saw something pretty cool here, man. Okay, let me go here. I got to get this here. I saw this. This was really cool. So let me go here with this here. Let me go down here. I got to get this because ESPN. Now again, this ain't me, and I might have a different opinion on this, but ESPN had something up here. Let me get this up here on position groups. They had position groups ranked. And I thought this was pretty interesting. These position groups. Let me go here. Let me find this thing here. Yeah, here. That's where this is. So let me go here. Where's that position group that they had? ESPN put out this, and they went over all the positions in the NFL, and they ranked them. Here we go. Let's see if I missed. Did I miss? All right. So let me go here with this. Okay. So NFL position group rankings. Best worst team units. Quarterback. So they got Baltimore, number 1, Buffalo 2, KC 3. They've got Cincinnati 4, Philly 5, Washington 6, Chargers 7, San Francisco 8, Tampa Bay 9, and they got Detroit 10th. Dallas is 11th. Wow. On this list. Okay. Let's see here. Running back. They've got 2 teams ranked ahead of Philly. Detroit and Atlanta. Ahead of Philadelphia. And Detroit is a better running attack because they're versatile with 2 guys. Now, the Eagles are versatile with 2 guys. I'm taking the Eagles, though, because of the Eagle O-line. Yeah, dude, there's a dude down there that I told you should draft by the name of Bijan Robinson. But again, it's either Bijan or Carter. I'm good with Carter. I'm good with Bijan, too. Bijan will be the next McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Marshall Faulk type player. We said that to you on draft day, that guy would be that dude. But I'll still take Philly because of the O-line. The offseason raises many questions, and some remain unanswered, Sills. How many teams that excelled in the offseason but had terrible seasons? I'm not talking about playing and performing. I'm talking about question marks being asked about the defending world champions that have holes right now on August 15th that have not been answered. And you hear the coordinator even saying there's nobody separating themselves. Nobody has won the safety job. You've got 3 practices left. Prince, you've got 3 practices left. You've got 3 training camp practices left. Training camp's over. After this week and next Friday, it's over. Oh, you're asking me. Offseason raises many questions, and some remain unanswered, okay? How many teams that excelled in the offseason but had terrible seasons? Trying to think. A team that added a lot of players and didn't have a very good regular season. And now, who was the biggest disappointment a year ago? Well, the Cowboys, you could say the Cowboys were disappointing, but Dak got hurt. The Browns, maybe they were disappointing. They added people. Okay, maybe they were disappointing. The Dolphins, you could make that point. The Jets, absolutely. The Bears, they did a ton of work too. They did. I thought the Bengals tried to add guys in the O-line, but Jets and Bengals and I would say those teams. Jaguars, I'd put in that conversation too. Absolutely. So there were a few teams a year ago that added those players, but it turned out to be a complete disaster. Houston, they made the playoffs though, dude. You know, I don't get that where people go in and go, like the Houston Texans had a bad year. The Texans have gone to their how can the Texans? Okay, how can the Texans have had a bad year when they made the playoffs 2 years in a row with a second-year with a second-year quarterback. I mean, they didn't have a bad year. Let me go here, look at this list here again. So, listen, Philadelphia 3rd, San Fran 4 because of McCaffrey. 5 is Baltimore. Wow. The best they got is Detroit. The shakiest is the Cowboys. The unit to watch is the Chargers. Here's the receiver. And ESPN has Cincinnati ranked 1. Makes sense. Philadelphia 2. The Bucks 3. Get this. You play the Bucks and the Rams in the first 4 games, and they have them 3 and 4. They got Miami 6, Detroit 8th. Best unit, Bengals. Shakiest, Raiders. Unit to watch, because of Mbuka, I told you this the other day, it would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay? I actually think this is right on. I think that's right. Offensive line, Philadelphia. This is pretty good. Philly, Denver, Chicago, I'm not there with that. Minnesota, yes. Dude, the only problem in Minnesota is the quarterback. Tennessee is ranked 5th. That will help Cam Ward. Baltimore is 6th. The Rams and the Bucks are 7 and 8. That's going to be a great test. So you get the best wide receiving groups and the best offensive line groups playing against one another in the first 4 weeks. That's pretty good. I'll say it one more time to you. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to be challenged. Best O-line, Eagles, best. Shakiest, Jags. Unit to watch, the Lions. They lost their guard and they lost their center to retirement. Ragnar was a heck of a player. Interior defensive line. Boy, they have no respect for the Philadelphia Eagles interior defensive line. Number 1, Seattle. 2, Arizona. 3, Indianapolis. 4, Tennessee. 5, Minnesota. 6, Giants. 7, Denver. 8, Pittsburgh. 9, the Rams. 10, New England with the addition of Milton Williams. They got the Eagles ranked 13th. With Jordan Davis and with Jalen Carter. They've got them ranked 13th in that conversation. Seattle's got the best interior defensive line. Leonard Williams can play, man. Just because he's on the West Coast and Eagle fans don't really know about Leonard Williams can fucking play, man. He is a good football player. Unit to watch, listen to this. Arizona Cardinals, with the addition of Josh Sweat, have them as a unit to watch as a defensive line itself. Edge rushers. This will be interesting. Pittsburgh 1, Giants 2, Minnesota 3, 4 is Houston, 5 is the Raiders, 6 Jacksonville, 7 Detroit, 8 the Rams, 9 Cincinnati, 10 is Miami. The Eagles aren't ranked in the top 16. Actually, I think they're ranked 31st. Off linebacker. They've got the Eagles second here. You know who the number 1 off-ball linebacking group is in pro football, according to ESPN? The Washington Redskins. They think they're the best linebacking group, off linebacking group in pro football. Unit to watch, though, is the Eagles. Cornerback. They've got Q is so good. They got them 4th. Baltimore 1. Houston 2. Jets 3. Philly 4. Pittsburgh 5. Best unit, Baltimore. Shakiest Dolphins, unit to watch, the Jaguars. Safety. Detroit, Green Bay, Arizona, Houston, Baltimore. The Eagles aren't in the top 16. Overall, Phillies 2. According to ESPN, here are the best rosters in football and position groups. Baltimore 1, Philly 2, Buffalo 3, Kansas City 4, Detroit 5, Minnesota 6, Cincinnati 7, Chicago 8, Tampa Bay 9, and Denver 10. According to ESPN, those are your best rosters in pro football. I think it goes between Baltimore and Philadelphia. The only reason I would go Philly is because Philly has won more. Well, they've won championships, NFC title, and Super Bowl. You haven't won more than regular season games than Baltimore. That's a push. But you've won the games that mattered the most. So you go with the champs. So I would say I would go Philly, Baltimore, Detroit. Here, if I had to put the best units and the best roster right now, the best roster, I would rank them this way. Philly, because of that offensive side of the ball, and because some of the core guys you have on defense, Cooper, Q, Bond, and Carter. The rest of those guys, you can have them, including Jordan Davis. Nolan Smith, maybe. Let's see what he does. But the rest of those guys, they're good. Again, Q, Bond, Carter, and Cooper DeJean. Those are the guys I'm going to hang my hat on August 15th. You can have them, the rest of them. Okay? So I would go here. Philly, Baltimore. I would go Detroit. These are the best rosters in football. I'd go Minnesota. I'd go Tampa Bay 5. I'd go Buffalo 6, Kansas City 7, Denver 8, the Rams 9, and Houston. So for me, the best rosters in football, I'd go Philly, Baltimore, Detroit, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Kansas City, Denver, the Rams, and Houston. I don't know why I'm not a Green Bay Packer fan. You know, they could be one of the biggest surprises. Abe, talking about the Patriots, they might be a surprise. They may actually be there's people saying that they may be a playoff team this year. Okay, they may make the playoffs. Because, again, you're in a shitty division, too. You got to remember, the only other team inside that division that's worth the shit are the Buffalo Bills, right? Cowboys are going to shock the world. Hey, Texas guy, I hope for your sake, because, again, I don't want anybody going on suicide watch for the 32nd year. I sure hope for some of you fans. Because, dude, really, how many times can you consistently say, we're going to be good. We're going to shock the world. We're going to be good. 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 Man, oh, man. Don't you get tired of it? See, every time I hear this, Green Bay might be better than the Bucs. Jordan Love is not better than Baker Mayfield. He's not. Is he more skill set wise a better player and aesthetic to the eye that he throws the ball better? Probably. But is he a better player? I don't think so. Like when I look at Jordan Love, do I see him better than Baker Mayfield? I don't. Baker Mayfield is like the new Kirk Cousins. If you're not better than him, and if you are better than him, you're probably one of the elite guys. You know what I'm saying? He's like the guy right there where you're like, is he elite or is he not? I don't know. He's like, between 8 and 9, he's in that conversation. I mean, like, is Jared Goff better than Baker Mayfield? Probably. One more year, like Baker Mayfield has had, I might not say that. I might not. Sills, you think they pay Micah Parsons $40 million? Yeah, I do. Here's something to think about, Cosmo. Micah Parsons versus the run. Are you ready for this? He's like ranked 79th versus the run. Myles Garrett's like 10th. I mean, you're going to pay a guy $40 million that just can't play the run. See, I think this is right here. And this is the one thing that Jalen Hurts has over Baker Mayfield. Jalen Hurts was a mature kid at Alabama. He was a mature dude at Alabama. And his maturity has carried him a long way. A lot of these guys aren't mature, these quarterbacks. But his maturity is what helps him elevate himself. Laughing my ass off. Love it that Sills messes up. Anyway, with Cosmo. Thank you very much, Eduardo. Eduardo, I do the best I can, my friend. I like that Baker talks shit too, and he cracks those smelling salts, I said this, and I'm going to, oh my God, I didn't tell you this. So on my Tampa morning radio show today, I pulled the Philadelphia on you guys. Okay? I pulled the Philadelphia on you. And I got this actually from Xander. Todd Bowles is going to play everybody except Levante David and Mike Evans. If somebody gets fucking hurt on Saturday against the Steelers who aren't playing everyone, I'm blaming Todd Bowles. I am 1,000% blaming the coaching staff and the general manager. If a significant person gets hurt Saturday, I am fucking blaming Todd Bowles. The Eagles do it right, and I've had to change my opinion on it. They believe in health over readiness, and health, to me, is better than readiness. The Eagles go like this. We're good enough to figure it out. We're not going to be good enough to figure it out if we're fucking hurt in September. And get this. I am 1,000% behind that. You really want to see Jalen Hurts playing against the Browns on Saturday? No way. Would you rather be a little rusty in September versus losing Landon Dickerson or losing Devontae Smith or Saquon? Fuck that. If I'm going to get hurt, I'm going to get hurt in the Cowboy game, not in the Browns game on Saturday night, in a game that means dick. So if he and they get hurt in that game in Pittsburgh, I'm blaming the Bucs. They fucked up the Tristan Wirfs deal. They're going in again. I don't subscribe to that. Seals, from the 2020 NFL class, would you say Hurts is number 2 quarterback behind Burrow when they had Herbert, Tua, and Jordan Love? He's not a better talent than Justin Herbert. But his resume and his winning and what they do with him, I hate quantifying that. He is not as talented as Justin Herbert. But talent doesn't win Super Bowls. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say that. You could be the most talented guys. Okay? And see what Prince just said? Okay, yes. Hey, Xander, I missed the Super. I want to make sure I hit it. You guys have been absolutely great. Thank you very much for all the supers and supporting the channel today. I mean, it's been absolutely fantastic. We missed one here. I think it's Tyler, if I'm not mistaken. Tyler sent us a super chat, and I want to make sure we get that super chat here. Why can't our young guys on defense taking a leap make up for the holes at CB2 and safety? They're not ready. Tyler, just because they're not ready doesn't mean they're not good. The problem that I have with Keely Ringo, you've invested 3 years in the guy. You've invested 3 years. And you're counting on Makuba. And Sidney Brown has never been a good tackler going back to his days at Illinois. When he came out of college, and I told you on draft day, this guy's got a really great engine. He can hit people. Tracking, which he's gotten better at actually, but getting guys on the ground was his problem. You know why Sidney Brown? Guys, why do you think Sidney Brown's not a first-round pick and he was a third-round pick? Why do you guys think? Why do you guys think that he was not a first-round draft choice? What's the kid, Witherspoon, that went to Seattle? He was a first-round pick, right? It's because he can't tackle. I'm not, Eduardo, third round, I get it. That's a high pick. He just can't tackle. So I think Ringo will still be the starter because they believe in Vic so much to be able to make the issue. Okay? I say we need another edge to help. Jason, then why is he not getting first-team reps now? I mean, he's not getting any, and he's getting less reps. What's that mean? Bro, that is not the sign that you want to see for a guy winning a job, is that you've been demoted to the second team and you're getting less reps. That is not where you want to be. I think he's a special teams player. I think you're going to see Shiloh play tomorrow. Oh, you mean the Bucks will see, or the Steelers will see Shiloh, but Shedeur, I think, has an abdomen injury, and I don't think you're going to see him play. I think it's going to be Dylan Gabriel that's going to start for the Browns against the Eagles. I believe you're going to see Dylan Gabriel that's going to start. Shedeur was scheduled to start. Okay? Seals, you answered the Ringo problem last year when you asked why Isaiah was starting over him. Ringo doesn't have it upstairs. You know, I'm hoping that's not the case, Prince, that he can't pick the playbook up and why he's hesitating out there. Okay, I hope that's not the case. Because, you know what? And how about this, Prince? You're onto something here. You know, I mean, I hate to say if it's a playbook thing, that he's just not comprehending the defense, because this is why he's late all the time. He's just not retaining the information. That could be, Prince. You know, we brought that up a year ago. We said that the guy just can't read a playbook. So that could be the issue. Isaiah was a headsy player. So we're basically have Shiloh at cornerback 2 right now. So we basically have Shiloh at cornerback 2 right now. What do you mean? Like Shiloh's not in the line to be a starter at all in Tampa Bay. He's a special teams guy if he makes that football team. They're very deep in Tampa in the secondary. And they've had some really good plays. That guy, Benjamin Morrison, is a fucking player. He is going to really push Dean at cornerback in Tampa. He is good. If that guy didn't hurt his knee at Notre Dame, that guy would have been a first-round draft choice. I can't believe how good he is. I've been pretty shocked on how good that guy is. Sills, I said this AM. Vic runs a very cerebral defense. And you know what, Kimberly? Some guys, it just takes a little longer to pick up the playbook, but he's had 3 years. I mean, they could be as that. It's so true. Kim, you can have the most athletic guy on the planet and the most skilled player. If you don't know where to line up, Vic's not going to fucking play you. He'll play. That's why, look at Reed Blankenship. Reed Blankenship, Vic Fangio can count on him and trust him to play in the scheme, know the plays, and communicate. He's not Gardner Johnson. Gardner Johnson, again, jumped out of the scheme. He gambled a lot. He bitched a lot. And all of that mounted up. Reed's a more dependable player than CJ. Vic likes dependable. That's why he's here and Gardner Johnson's not, besides the bullshit. You get that, right? Reed's safe. He's a safe player. Smart, knows the defense, communicates, friendly with everyone, trying to help everyone, doesn't jump out of the scheme. Is he the player Gardner Johnson is? Absolutely not. But can you count on him? Yes. Can I count on Gardner Johnson not to blow the scheme up? No. Gardner Johnson, more than likely, it's his big mouth, but it's the fact that his big mouth and the fact that he didn't want to play inside of a structure got him blown out of here. And that's why they like Reed more. By the way, I wonder if Reed's value is going up also because they can't figure out the other corner. If his value has now started to rise. And maybe it's Reed Blankenship holding out. You know, I would have to think that the Eagles put something on paper when they're looking at the other safety position and know there's really a battle still going on. You know, I hear people going, Sydney's probably raises. Sydney can't tackle. And what are you going to do? On-the-job training? Put him in training wheels against the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Rams, and the Bucks, and Denver? Really? You really feel comfortable putting Sidney Brown out there with training wheels on, trying to figure out if he can. This ain't like high school football. You're going to put that and put the guy in training wheels and go, hey, he'll figure it out by week 5. Fuck that. You're too good for that. He's not that good yet. I'm not giving up on him. He runs to the ball too well. He hits too well. He loves the game. There's a love of the game there that I love, that he loves the game. You could see he loves the game. I'm all right with all that. He needs more time. This guy's been in and out of the Eagle lineup and in the Eagle roster because of injuries. He's behind. He's a year and a half behind. I mean, he's not up to speed. Makuba, I'll tell you this, Vic, you could tell, hates fucking injuries, especially with young players. He, again, all right? I mean, Makuba can play. He just got to get out there, right? He's just an idiot and tries to kill people half the time. I don't want to coach a Philly. I don't want to coach that out of Sidney Brown. I want him to kill people. I want him to be Safeties are supposed to be tone setters, like Cam Chancellor, John Lynch. I want tone setters. I want him, but he does. Listen, I'd rather pull a dude off the ledge and push him to it. So there's a fine line on how to coach him. He needs more time. Like, get this, guys. He may be better by week 11, and he may win that job week 11. That's how I see him. I don't subscribe to that. I think he needs more coaching. Lovie Smith told you that on who Sidney Brown was in college. They told you. Guy has all the other skills except getting dudes on the ground. Okay? He's a good football player. Listen, Keely Ringo is an I'll tell you this. For me, Keely Ringo, I'd want him on my roster. I'd play him with special teams until he can figure it out. You know, Keely Ringo may be a good player in another year or so. But he needs reps. Boy, if there was ever a minor league NFL team, he needs to be on it. Because that guy needs to get beat more and understand, okay? And just stop thinking. When you see a player out there thinking and late on tackles, chasing, he's thinking too much, which means it could be what Prince and what Kimberly and what we said a year ago. It could be a playbook thing, comprehending the playbook and retaining the information that they've given him. It might be that. Okay? It just might be that. Because you can see, and by the way, he is weak in the hips. He is. He's weak in the hips. You can see he doesn't really rotate well. He does, and I see where you guys come up and go, Sills, why don't you play him at safety? He does look like a safety in his style of play. Isn't it funny? Cooper looks like a corner playing safety or nickel. Ringo looks like a corner playing safety. So when the conversation pops up that, do you think one of these guys is out of position? Your eyeballs looking at it, telling you that. Right? I see that too. You know, I got to ask the question from somebody. When you see Ringo, what do you see? I go, I see a special teams guy. I'd like him running down like him and Sidney Brown, in my opinion, on a special teams, on a kickoff team, they would murder people. Put them in a straight line and just murder people. You put those guys where they got a track, I think they got problems. And that's a reps thing. I'll tell you, Sidney Brown and Keely Ringo on a kickoff coverage team, wow, you might get the shit knocked out of you with those two dudes running down the field. I'm not getting rid of them guys. I'm going to find a place to play them. And special teams might be a place for them. Okay? Until they figure it out. See, the thing with Cooper is I keep, hearing Vic say this. The roster's going to dictate where he plays in base. I don't really care about base. What do you got, 150 plays in base? So what? You're going to be in nickel almost over 80% of the time. And you're going to be in a multiple front look with 5 guys in the D-line. Most of the time, you're going to look like a 52 up front because he puts the 5-man front out there. I mean, I don't really give a shit where Cooper plays in base. 150, 160 plays? I mean, is that going to dictate maybe the NFC East? It could. But unlikely, in my opinion. We need Cooper by the line of scrimmage. I say more middle of the field. That's where I think he's going to be more effective. Cooper in the middle of the zone. And when I say this, listen, guys, talk like this. You got to have Cooper in the middle of the zone or in the top end of the zone or in the bottom end of the zone. That's what you're saying near the line of scrimmage. Okay, so you've got to have him. I don't want him in the middle, top or bottom, depending on what the coverage is. And we said it when he was drafted. He was not a corner. He was going to be a safety. Vic sees him as a Kyle Hamilton. It's all for good. Kyle Hamilton's going to reshape the market when his contract comes up. I think he would be a great safety. If I'm going to play Cooper DeJean, I'm going to play him at safety, and I'm going to keep him around the top, in the middle of the zone, in the middle of the field. Think about what Vic Fangio has done and where you're still strong. Where are you guys? If you're looking, again, we call it the what was the thing we have? The unknown defense. But what is the one thing known about your defense? What's the strength of your defense? Bingo. 2 DTs, 2 LBs, and a hell of a, well, the question mark is safety now. How good will Reed play? But if you put Cooper over there and you got Cooper in the middle with Reed, that could be a formidable safety. That could look like what you got in Detroit. If you play Cooper at safety, keep him in the middle there, along with Reed, and then get this, because Cooper's so good, maybe he can cover over there. And I would say this, Makuba and McWilliams in the slot, that's where I'm at right now. If I'm going to, here's my defense. If I'm going to put this football team together now, okay? Edges, end, tackle, and nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bond, secondary, boom, boom, boom. My edge rushers are going to be Nolan, the committee of Hunt, Uche, and Ojulari. By the way, those 3 dudes hoping Hunt wins the job. That's going to start by committee at the other edge. Okay? That's what's going to be there. Your defensive end is going to be Morrow. Your tackle's going to be Carter. And your nose is going to be Davis. Committee, with Hunt opening wins the job. Morrow Jomo, Carter, Jordan Davis, and Nolan Smith. That's pretty good. Depending on how well that left edge is going to be the problem. And that's going to be your strong side. Remember, Nolan's going to play the weak side. He can't play strong side. He's too small and too banged up. So you're going to need, and by the way, you're going to keep both Uche and Ojulari. You know why? You don't know what you have with Hunt yet. To assume that here on August 15th, that he's going to be a replacement for Josh Sweat is asinine. Okay, so go there with that. Your inside linebackers, and listening to John McMullen, you're going to have Bond, and it looks like it is going to be Trotter. Trotter won the job not because he was great. Trotter won the job because he's been consistent. And Vic loves consistent. Seals for the Bills week. How would you limit Josh Allen? Got to take the runaway. Make him try to beat you in the passing game. That's how don't give him the dual threat. Let him beat you in the passing game because I don't believe in those receivers in Buffalo. Okay? And in the secondary, I'm going to play Cooper at safety. I'm going to play Reed at safety. I'm going to put McWilliams in the slot. And I'm going to probably have to play Ringo. And I'm going to put Q over at the other side. That would be my defense. And what I would do is, how about this, guys? On 3rd and long, how about you switch Cooper from the safety position to the nickel so he can help Keeley and that coverage to the left and shorten it so that it's not so wide open where he's alone on the numbers. You know what I'm saying? You keep, if 3rd down, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, you could probably get away with that, keeping him on the free safety side, okay? Keep him on the free safety side. But when you get in 3rd and long, you move Cooper to the nickel again. And what he can do is he can shorten that number so Keeley doesn't have to cover that much space out there. My contention would be Cooper DeJean at the top of the zone and at the bottom of the zone. I don't want him getting too far away from that. He's too good an open field tackler. And he can cover mistakes back there. Do you understand what he's trying to do, Vic? He's trying to cover mistakes with Q traveling and Cooper playing multiple positions. Haven't you seen that this entire offseason? Slot, nickel, safety. You've never seen Cooper out at the wide and playing out a corner for a reason. Why? He's going to play in the nickel, the dime, and safety to try to cover for the deficiencies of the other corner. And they're going to travel Q. That's what they're doing. That's what they've been practicing. I mean, that's how I see it. All right. A football Friday, baby. Holy cow. Hey, you know what? So the last day of practice, like for camp, is next Friday. Holy cow. We are right here. This is it, baby. August 15th. And on August 15th, the unknown defense. How you doing, baby? Let's get it going here. And let's go. Don't forget, make sure you guys check out our friends at Birds 365. I'm sure Big Z's going to be working this weekend. And from what I understand, Michael Jordan personally gave him the Rue hat here with the colors of North Carolina. I'm kind of shocked they're not Bama colors, but he is my friend, Big Z. Xander Krause joins us now, and he's here with us. How you doing, bro?
What up, Big Sills? How you living, brother?
I am.
It's a football Friday. I want you to cheer up a little bit.
Oh, I am. Oh, you kidding? I am absolutely on my numbers and I am on the tee box and I'm hitting off the black tees right now, dog. Are you kidding me, man? Hey, I loved what you said this morning. Hey, folks, I have to pick the mic up. Hey, Johnny Mac. Whew. Sure, a lot of question marks on August 15th about this defense. Oh, I heard that. I heard that. Yeah.
I don't know.
I heard there's a lot of questions. I said this. I heard a lot of question marks on that defense. All kidding aside, dog. I mean, look.
Yeah, they got some questions right now.
We got questions. Okay. All kidding aside. But so let me go over them here. In your opinion, who wins that job at corner?
Well, yesterday you're in practice 15 and Ringo doesn't get a rep at the first team.
John said that?
He didn't get a rep with the second team, Sills, until the end of practice. Wait for this. You see, you didn't hear this.
No, I didn't.
First team yesterday was Quinyon Mitchell and Adoree Jackson. Second team yesterday, ready for this? Jacorian Bennett and Eli Ricks.
Wow.
They didn't even have Ringo on the second team to start.
They're moving.
So he starts. So practice 1, they come in wanting him to win the job. And at practice 15, the second of your joint practices, he's starting on the third team. He only got a couple second team reps yesterday at the end of practice. Not one first-team rep taken for him yesterday.
So in 2 weeks, he went from first team to third team.
That's what it looks like to me.
So you're
So I
looking
can't
at
feel great about the position. I mean, I think John's right. I think it's going to end up being a Dory because Vic is going to default to the guy who knows how to play the position. He's not very good though. He might know how to play the position, but he's not very good.
I don't think he
So
is.
Ja'Cory Bennett, I don't think he's going to do anything. I'm kind of with Pumper on that one. I don't think he's going to come in here and save the spot. My question now has become, how much will Vic be able to mask it, to disguise it? It's not the whole secondary that stinks. You got one corner spot, safety we don't know, and I think that could play a role. But remember, the corner 2 is going to be on the Blankenship side. So how can Vic, use the safety to cover him up versus, the other guy who is going to be Ringo or Jackson or whoever is going to be he's going to be with Blankenship, and then Sidney Brown would be with Quinyon Mitchell. So, how can Vic kind of blanket that and cover that up a little bit? I don't know.
Here's what I suggested just a couple minutes ago. Okay, on 3rd and short, you keep Coop. You keep him at safety. You put McWilliams in the slot there. Okay, on
Right.
3rd and medium. On 3rd and long, you move Cooper into the nickel, helping Ringo, so that you shorten that side of the zone, and you don't have to have him cover. I think what they're going to do, Xander, you tell me if you think I'm wrong here on this. I think they're going to try to cover a lot of the deficiencies that they have maybe at safety and at corner with Q traveling and then moving, because look at what they've done this whole camp. He's practicing dime, nickel, safety. Not one rep at all at corner. I think they're going to slide him in there based on what the offense is giving them on how 3rd and long, 3rd and medium, 3rd and short. And I think he's going to stay because, look, slot, dime, and safety, they're all relatively the same positions.
Right.
And they're going to move him this way, and they're going to travel Q trying to cover that off corner. That's how I think they're going to cover that.
I agree, which is why I don't feel like it's going to mess everything up. I feel like you still have a chance to be a good defense. I mean, look, you don't need great players at every position to have a good defense. You need a good unit. Well, you need a good unit. You need the cohesion of the unit to come together, and the sum of the parts equal a good, obviously a great number compared to each individual player needs to be an all-pro, especially in Vic's scheme, right? I mean, it's a zone-based scheme, and it relies on other players' communication a lot. So I'm not trying to say, oh, the defense isn't going to be good, but this corner 2 position is ugly. This is an ugly This is an ugly training camp for cornerback 2. You come in with 2 guys who are duking it out. The Eagles want one of them to win because they spent a draft pick on him in Keely Ringo, and in practice 15, the dude is not even on the field. So it's all right, not what they wanted. Vic was shit talking to Dory Jackson a couple of weeks ago at the podium. They make a trade for Ja'Cory Bennett. He doesn't even look like he's ready to play yet. So yeah, that's probably, in my estimation, put that in the Shohei Ohtani for me. Because what did I say? All summer? My biggest concern was corner. It was corner. John has been edge. You've been kind of all over the defense. So I thought corner was the problem.
My question was replacing the guys you lost.
Yeah, well, no, which is fine. I mean, John's was more specifically on the edge as going to be the toughest thing, and I think the corner has always been the biggest one, and we'll see what they were able to do and what Vic's able to do to get around it.
Here, I think you're more optimistic on that safety than I am, because
I wouldn't say I'm optimistic on that.
Okay. Because I think Sidney does a lot of things great. I think he hits people good. I think he loves the game. I think he has all of that things that I think Vic likes. I think he's coachable. I think all of it. I think the one thing that they don't practice, that he needs the most practice at, is getting folks on the ground. That's why I think that's Makuba's job. At least he can get guys on the ground.
So listen to what John had to say about the safety spot right now. And he said this he does not think they're going to do this. This is just from his viewership of camp. This is what it looks like. Not what they're going to do, but his thoughts on the position. It almost looks like in red zone, Sidney would be good because he's a great downhill player. He's aggressive, he's fast, and he's physical.
And you got the back of the end zone and you shorten
exactly.
the field.
You get Sidney in space, in open space, he's not comfortable. And that's where Makuba is better than Sidney. So John, he's not saying they're gonna rotate the spot.
I like that.
Saying, to me, it looks like they would want Makuba between the 20s, and in the red zone, they would want Sidney Brown. That's the kind of skill sets that the two players have. I don't think Makuba's ready to play. I don't think he's going to be out there, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not very confident in that position. I mean, certainly, I've been saying that Gardner-Johnson trade's looking worse and worse, especially the more that I hear it's about attitude. Like, I don't really give a shit about his attitude. We won a Super Bowl with that guy. The attitude wasn't that freaking bad. All right, we won a bowl with him. Had the number one defense in football with him. He had 6 turnovers on that defense. All right, how bad could the attitude have been? So I hope there was more to that. But yeah, it doesn't look good. I mean, safety corner.
Yeah, let me go to the next one here. Okay. So do you think that off edge, that will edge is going to be a committee edge? I think you're going to keep Uche and Ojulari, and you're going to have Jalix Hunt. That's going to be your 3-man rotation out there.
Did you hear what they're doing with Jalix now?
I heard that they put him behind Nolan.
They put him behind Nolan. He didn't get one first-team rep on the side that he was projected to play on, and they're rotating through Uche and Ojulari and Obo.
Can I tell you what
now, I don't know if they're trying to maybe, hey, let's see what these guys are made of. But do you think Jalix Hunt has earned the right to not get reps in practice in order to see what you got in somebody else? I'm still trying to see what I got in Jalix Hunt. I mean, with all due respect, I'm optimistic on the kid too. But the guy played how many snaps in the NFL? He's a third round developmental player.
That sounds like to me a step backwards.
I agree.
And I'll say this to you too. That sounds like a technique. That sounds like an edge issue that Vic has, and that Vic probably feels a little bit more comfortable with these other guys out there. I mean, he's probably looking at that out there going like this. Again, that looks like a small committee also. So now we're talking about potential. John, like what John says, John's talking committee at safety. Now you're talking about committee.
He didn't say he thinks they're going to
committee at will.
He didn't say he thinks they're going to do that at safety. He specifically said that's just what their skill sets look like to me. It would be better to have them in that role, but I don't think they're going to do that, is what he said. But yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean, edge rusher is fine. That's more of a committee position as is, right? I mean, even last year, remember we talked about, only 3 edge rushers left. Is that too little? So that's a committee position by default. The question there is, how good is the committee? The questions at safety and corner are a little bit more alarming for me because the main guy is under question,
So where is all this Jahad Campbell at the edge, and where was all this talk? What happened?
It doesn't sound like it's happening at all. I mean,
absolutely. What happened to all that? I mean, all of a sudden now, I think we're more concerned about him even getting down off linebacker now. I mean, the talk on him has kind of went cold, hasn't it?
Well, I don't think it's gone cold. I do think John has said he's not ready to play though. Not ready to play, but he's got a lot of things to learn. He's a raw player, which is kind of surprising. I didn't think he'd be so raw. Remember he was recruited by Saban, not the new coach at Alabama. He was a Saban guy, so I thought that he would be a little bit more polished. But he's there. Look, I'm not worried about him. He's got everything he needs. I think he's got the football IQ. I think he's got the athleticism, the speed, the strength, everything you would need. The question is going to be, where is he going to use? Where are they going to use him? What's his role going to be this year, if any? And what does that mean for the rest of the linebackers? Do you think? I think realistically, Vic would be like, I'd love to have Bond and Jahad as my linebackers, but I don't know if he feels fully ready yet to go to Jahad. But he knows Jahad gives him the biggest upside because he's so much more versatile than a guy like Trotter or even Dean.
I would say this to you about Trotter. Trotter's winning this job because he's been the most consistent, not the most explosive.
Exactly. Steady Eddie.
I don't think he's an explosive player. I think he's a steady player.
Yeah, he is.
That's not an upgrade from Dean.
No.
Dean made explosive plays.
We are not upgrading at Dean to start the season. There's no way. Dean had a good year, man. Dean was really good.
I underrated his year.
Yeah, he was really good last year. I mean, he
had 130 tackles.
Yeah, and he was in position. By the way, he was the voice of the defense. I mean, he called out everything. That's who Vic communicated with. I mean, think about that. It's one thing to have a player. You got one line of communication from the genius that is Vic Fangio, and it goes through one guy, and take that guy off the field. Like, you could have everybody else the same. Just changing your communicator would change a lot. You know what I mean? It's that in and of itself is a big change right there. Now, they had to do it late in the year last year, so it's not brand new to them, but we'll see. Bond's probably going to be the guy, the red dot.
Okay. Right guard. That's solidified. I feel pretty
Feeling
good.
Feeling good about it. Yeah.
Right?
I'm feeling much better about it.
Who's going to play in the interim on the other side if Landon doesn't go?
Looks like Brett Toth is going to do it. Or not to be confused with Brett Tooth, as you call him. Looks like he's going to be the left side. Yeah.
Okay. So any concerns at all in like all of these?
Short term.
Boy.
Short term, yeah. I mean, I'm not worried about Landon.
Would you agree with this comment that I made earlier? I don't, again, believe that, ESPN came out with like the best matchups when it came to like receivers, offensive line, this and that. And they had Baltimore as the best. And you know what? Until Baltimore shows me that they can win in the postseason, I still think the Eagles, you have to go with what these guys, because let's face it, even the guys that you're talking about right now that still have a position battle, these guys all got rings.
Yeah, right.
These guys have been in that culture here. So you know what? I'm going to give that the benefit there that they may figure it out later in the year. Like I'm not out on Sidney. I still think that guy maybe down the road, maybe down like 10 games in, he starts playing a little better. You know what I'm saying? I still think, can you imagine him and Keely Ringo on a kickoff team running down the field and knocking people out? I mean, I'm good with that.
Well, I do think you'll agree with this. We got to be patient. We got to be. We don't know yet. But right now, we only have what we have. We only have the information we have, and the information we have now is not great. But if you look back to this time last year, because I asked this question yesterday, I'm trying to compare it to where the defense was at this time last year, as opposed to the end unit, the final goal, or the final version of the product, which was obviously the best defense in football. But we had a ton of questions, a ton. I mean, we didn't know yet when Cooper DeJean was going to play. Remember, he got into camp really late. He didn't get to camp till the last preseason game. All right, so we didn't know about slot cornerback. We had obviously linebacker concerns. We thought Devin White was going to be the starter up until he didn't get on the plane to go to Brazil. I mean, we had so many different questions that they were different questions, but we had a lot of those different questions. So I think the team will start to take more shape, obviously, as you get closer and as you play more games and as you put yourself in different positions. But I'm just not feeling great about that corner spot.
You know what? Let me ask you there about that. See how you have set the mark so high after what you saw in February and in December, November, and how well they played. Zander, look where you've put yourself. You put yourself in this room with one of the most elite, if not the best Eagle team in the history of the franchise. And so now when you're not seeing those same guys at the same pace of elevating their game like Ringo did, like the way Q did, or the way Q won that job right away, there was no debate on it. And it was so much more positive last year. Yeah, hey, Milton looks pretty good. Hey, guess what? Dean looks like he might be. Wait, remember, we didn't even know Dean was going to play as a starter until what? Until we got to Brazil. We didn't know he was going to be the guy and have that kind of season because there had been so much negative stuff about him. Don't you feel that there's just the negativity from where we came from and what we were talking about a year ago and how well they played has jaded your opinion on these guys and where they are in their careers?
I mean, a little bit, but I think that's natural when you have a team as good as they were last year, and that had as many things work.
But the Eagles were preparing you. Don't compare that to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're right about that. I think this team, the expectations of this team are set by nobody other than the team themselves. This isn't a fan-driven narrative. The team has preached excellence and has lived excellence for the last 4 years. With that has created a sense of perfectionism, which is, I think, a good thing overall. Now, you got to fight the battles to get to there, and you got to fight even the expectations that you set to get to there and understand it's a process to get to where you want to get to. But, I think this is the world we live in, and it's a much better world. What would you rather live in, this world or the Cowboys world?
No, I'm just saying, though, that I think if you're sitting there saying you got to be patient on some of these guys, I bet fans have to be a little patient too. On, hey, guess what? Howie Roseman, and I'll keep asking the questions to folks. There was so much emphasis on 26 and 27. I think they skipped the rock across the pond, Xander, on 25. I just think, you've got to pick a corner and a safety from what they did and the work they did in the offseason. I don't see it. Like the edges. Like you said, two dudes that are making steps backwards are Keeling Ringo and Jalix Hunt. Fuck, they were.
I don't know. Do you think Jalix a step backwards? He had a good start to camp.
Okay, well, he's no longer in the conversation where Vic. Now, again, the traveling thing is a true thing. So I've got to temper myself and be careful about that because remember what he says he likes to do? Let's see other guys in case somebody gets hurt. We got to see if those guys can play in those groupings as well. So I get that, but you take that as a what? That Jalix Hunt is now getting second-team reps and he's playing behind Nolan Smith.
You're right. It's not easily explainable. That's for sure.
And how about this? I get that early in camp, but Xander, we're 15 days out.
Right. I get you. I hear you. Sorry, I'm trying to block these fucking bots. I don't know where they're all coming from. But no, you're right. Look, 15 days out, there's a lot of questions that we have, and I don't think it's unfair to say that. I don't think it's unfair to say that.
Jalen Hurts' offseason has been what?
Good. I think he's been a lot more confident, which is always good to see. I think he obviously has admitted to being more confident. But he's got to look. This team is going to require a different version of him. He fully knows that. That's why he said at the start of the year, start of training camp, this is a different iteration of our football team. Things will look different, and the offense right now is not doing many explosive things. But what's the defense going to be this year? Because that will dictate what Jalen needs to be. I think we're going to run the ball really effectively, but if you don't have a top 5 defense, that's not going to work in as many games as it did last year because you're going to give up more points, you're going to have less time of possession. All those different things are going to go into the pie. All that complimentary football that you had last year. So, I'm expecting Jalen to have a really big year. I think he knows he needs to have a big year in order for this team to have a chance. But I think he's had a solid camp. Nothing crazy. They're not doing very much. But I do think there's some merit to what they say about they want to practice not turning the ball over. Some people have this sense of going to camp and that's when you throw the picks. That's when you take the chances. That's when you try and fit the ball in tight windows. And I think Jalen looks at it and is like, I'm not going to practice that shit. I don't want to practice putting the ball in harm's way. I want to practice making the right decision, even if the right decision is a check down. Sometimes in practice, I think it's bullshit, or at least it's boring. It doesn't bring a lot of, excitement, but I think it's the right thing to do. Look, this team identified last year, Sills, after the bye week. If we don't turn the ball over, we're going to have a really good chance to win a lot of football games, most football games. So they've gone defensive with turning the ball over. I don't think that's a bad idea or a bad thing to do until they prove they need to do more than that and take more chances.
I talked to Bernie Kosar yesterday, and Bernie's on the broadcast team while he's
how's he doing, by the way? Did he get?
He's doing well. He's doing well. That's great. I'm glad you asked.
He didn't get the transplant.
Not yet. No, they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait a couple more days here, but he's still on the broadcast team. And he had some people say, and you tell me what you make of this. Cleveland Browns thought they kicked the shit out of the Eagles in those 2 days, in those joint practices. They thought they took it to them. The word ass kicking wasn't the word. I added that. But they thought they really handled themselves against the Eagles in those 2 joint practices. What do you make of that? Them, and even Lane said the energy was a little low for us being out there. What do you make of that?
I don't know why that is. You think these are some of the signs of maybe a Super Bowl hangover of some sorts?
It's the first time I've heard you use that phrase.
Well, Lane Johnson said the energy was low at the joint practice. I'm not trying to create a storyline. Lane Johnson said the energy was low.
Yeah, but that's the first time I've heard you go, I don't know. Is it a thing? I'm not thinking you're thinking it is, but could it be?
I don't know. I mean,
You know, this
look,
team's been doing an awful lot. You know, you got one guy doing the hoochie coochie dance.
But look at
over
he says
Wildwood.
because it's the Browns, Sills. Nobody can get up for the fucking Browns.
Okay. Okay, I'll tell you what, Myles Garrett running ring around the collar on Mulatto was not
Myles
something.
Garrett
Now, then again, that is Myles Garrett, so I will go there with that. But the secondary, now again, too, you didn't have all your dudes out there, but bro, I mean, you know, you got one kid doing the hoochie coochie dance, you know, over there in Wildwood. He's shaking it up with the mommies and the poppies over there. You know, he's hanging out. Him and Cooper DeJean. You got the president of the United States, Jalen Hurts, hanging out with Oprah, going over there and hanging out there in Malibu, you know, and not going to the Met Galas, wearing really funky clothes and shit.
I think you get when you're Super Bowl MVP. You got to be able to manage it.
How do you think they've managed it so far?
I don't know.
Or is it yet to be determined?
It's yet to be determined. If this team has a collapse, if this team, you know, stinks on ice late in the year, then you know that it got to them. But I don't think right now you can make that proclamation.
Well, I'll tell you what, they better get some of them speeches. And if I were them, I'd be popping that ring out, getting that Nick Sirianni fucking thing that he has inside that ring. Greatness, but the greatness of others. That whatever that fucking thing is, the fucking wing thing, you know? I'd be looking at that a little bit more there.
I was thinking about that ring. Is that
that
might be the greatest Super Bowl ring of all time?
Why? Because of Nick's quote?
No, because it's sick.
That's not a ring, dude.
It's a fucking trophy.
It's a trend. It's right. It's a fucking. I mean, that thing. The only thing bigger than that's the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, well, good.
How do you think your boy? How do you think your boy Petula's doing?
Wait a second. You buy a girl gets a ring. You ever heard a girl say she wants a smaller ring?
No. As a matter of fact, no.
That's what I thought.
Wait,
so nobody in their right mind that wants jewelry wants the smaller ring, but Sileo says the Eagles want the smaller ring.
No, I didn't say that.
Come on, man. Come on,
bro. It's not a ring. That's not a Super Bowl ring. You don't hang out at some topless bar with that thing hanging out.
I don't hang out at Tapa's bar. Period. End of sentence. Well, Tapa's isn't enough food for me. Oh my God.
Well, I'll tell you, I got some places in Dallas for you that, in case you ever want to know, I'll let you know.
Bite.
If you're
here's a bite of 40 different things. I want a meal. Can I get a meal, please? Thank you.
Hey, let me tell you this. I've seen the governor in some of these places in Dallas.
All right.
Hey, I'm just telling you. It's what I heard. I don't know as a guy here, but what do you make of your boy Petula and how he's done?
I mean, I think he's done all right, but I think you can't really tell too much.
You think that was by design? That they were vanilla?
Maybe to some extent.
Because you really don't want to tip your hand on what you're going to do in a regular season. If you're going to run the ball more, you're going to throw the ball. I mean, last year, do you not agree Kellen Moore caught people with their pants down? Because he's a passing coordinator. He's not a running coordinator. And so don't you think they want that same element going into this year? They don't want people knowing.
But that's fine. I mean, that's not an issue. Jeff Stoughton's the run game coordinator. Jalen Hurts is going to be good. I mean, come on, man. I don't think that's an issue. With Petula, I don't know what he's done yet. What did Kellen Moore do last year? We won the Super Bowl. I'm now wondering if the offensive coordinator in Philadelphia is a pointless position.
Okay. Okay. So
I mean, you got to have a feel for calling game plays in the flow of the game. That's basically it.
I actually waited till this time because I have a question for you here.
Did I just set myself up?
Hang on here. Well, you brought a great point up here. God, I love doing this.
Dude.
Does Kevin Petula make Jalen Hurts a better passing quarterback?
I mean, I think Jalen is what he is in the passing game, which is fine. It's not a volume passer. I mean, he's never going to be that. That's not what he's been. But when they needed to win with it, he did, and I think he'll continue to do that. I don't know if I look at it from a lens of is he going to make them better? I don't know. Do you ask is Patrick Mahomes going to be better this year? I don't say that about Jalen.
Well, I know who Patrick Mahomes is.
I know who Jalen Hurts is.
I don't. I've had four different Hurtses. You
know who Hurts is.
No. Last year I saw a guy throw for like the guy at Army's numbers, and I
And
saw
you know
another
who
guy
Hurts is, dude.
in 2022 carry a team. I saw a guy who was learning in 21. I saw a guy in 23 who turned the ball over like he was turning pancakes over. And so, I mean, I've seen 4 different dudes. Is Kevin Petula? Do you think Kellen Moore made Jalen Hurts a better quarterback last year, a better passer, I should say, because he's a passing guy? And by the way, I'm not saying, let me differentiate that. Not a better quarterback. Kellen Moore did not make Jalen Hurts a better passer last year.
No,
Does
he
Kevin
didn't.
Petula make Jalen Hurts a better passer this year? Yes or no? I feel like I'm one of those Senate committees right now. Yes or no? Okay, that's all I'm asking. What do you think Kevin Petula makes him a better passer? Look at this guy here.
It's bullshit, Anthony. I'm not even fucking answering this stupid question.
How do you
we just won with Jalen being what you think was a bad passer, so
see,
I don't really.
now you're going off the off ramp on me here.
I'm not going off anywhere. Shut up. I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
You're the one.
You're taking the off ramp on
I'm a
me
little
here.
grumpy for a football Friday because of this.
Oh yeah, wait a minute.
Well, we got our ass beat by the Browns yesterday, and everyone's like, Xander, relax. Xander, don't say anything. Xander, it's just practice. Now we got our ass beat by the Browns. I'm a winner. I like to win everything I do in life, including my segments with Sileo.
Hey, this guy just took the off ramp to go to the Lombardi rest stop there on the Jersey Turnpike on me. Can you stay on the road here for me a little bit? I asked you, do you believe that Kevin Petula is going to make Jalen Hurts a better passer? The last 3 coordinators have not.
Kevin Petula is going to make the offense a better offense.
He won't go there. 3 years.
I think
3 new coordinators.
I do. I think it's an infusion of 22 and 23 Hurts with less RPOs, but less turnovers and a more higher volume passer this year because I think they're going to need it. So I think it's going to go up somewhat from last year. I'm not expecting him to become Joe Burrow and throw the ball from the pocket all day long, but I think he's gonna do what he needs to do to win the football games, as he always says to us, and as he's proven through 70+ games of his career. So, I think there's plenty of there to work with. I don't think we don't know who the player is. What the fuck do you mean we don't know who the player is? You know who I don't know who it is? I don't know who Cam Ward is. I don't know who Jaden Daniels is. I don't know who Caleb Williams is. All right? Those are who I don't know who you are. Who is Drake May? I know who Jalen Hurts is. He's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 fucking years. Get that bullshit and stuff it.
4 different Jalen Hurtses in 4 fucking years, and it's documented. Hey, do you buy this? This year, this is going to happen, and there's going to be a lot of book reading on the sidelines. Devontae Smith, 1,350 yards. A.J. Brown, 930.
Wait, is that your predictions?
Yeah.
You got Devontae at 1,350.
I think there's some issues going on with AJ here. Injury issues.
I'm starting to wonder on them. I mean, look, John keeps telling me basically shut up anytime I ask about a concern on AJ Brown, but it's like, dude, the guy's missing a lot of time. And you brought up the point of they don't practice together. They didn't play at all in the summertime together. Jalen was down in Houston or in Texas or wherever he was. And, so I don't know. I think AJ is going to be all right. But I do think it's fair to wonder. I mean, he's had the hamstring nagging, and
Nick made it feel like it was a setback the other day with his hamstring. He made me feel like
because what they did was he was a limited participant in Tuesday's practice before the joint practices, and that was an improvement on what he was the week prior, where he wasn't even participating at all. And then Wednesday and Thursday rolled around, and he went back to not participating at all. So Tuesday, he got back to limited, and then Wednesday, Thursday, he got back off the field. So why that is, I don't know. I would have wanted my players to play in the joint practice. That's the one opportunity you get to kind of get.
And that's where you get evaluation from.
Right, as close to football reps as possible. But it is what it is. I mean, AJ will be all right. I'm not really worried about AJ Brown. I mean, but I think it is fair to wonder about if that will slow down their chemistry early in the year.
Do you think there'll be a time when both those guys are still on the roster together that Devontae will ever overtake him as the number 1 guy? That it'll get to a point where the offense starts to run through him? Or is
I
that
don't
time?
know about run for him.
So you don't think that offense will ever run through him as long as AJ's on the team?
I think if AJ's out there, it's going to run through AJ unless AJ has a sizable, regression as a player from age or whatever. I don't know. You're going to run your offense through. I love Smitty, man. I love him. These are tough questions because it makes me have to pick one, but I'm running my offense through AJ Brown, dude. I just am. I mean, it's no disrespect to Devontae Smith. I got AJ Brown on the field, dude. I got AJ Brown on the field. It's no disrespect. I just think you go through AJ Brown there. You go through AJ, you go through Saquon, you go through Jalen, and then you call, and then Devontae will clean up the rest.
You said something the other day where you said that you believe that Jalen Hurts will be in the conversation for the MVP award this year. And I'm saying to you this, he'll never be in that conversation as long as Saquon Barkley's on that team.
I don't agree.
Well, he wasn't last year.
No. Last year was a one-off for Saquon Barkley in terms of health, in terms of, being able to touch the ball that many times and being able to run at that level. And I'm not saying he can't do it again. I'm just saying
even in the thought process of being an MVP a year ago.
No, he wasn't. That's correct. Versus the year prior when we got blown out of the water, he was in the MVP conversation when they were 11 or 10-1.
Okay, all right. But then when you put Barkley on the team, I mean, and here's why, Xander. I think when you have AJ Brown and Saquon Barkley on the same football team as Jalen Hurts, bro, you're gonna. If people have a negative conversation about Jalen being on a loaded team, what makes you think you're gonna get enough fucking votes? I think that Lamar Jackson? Do you not agree with me that Lamar legitimately could have won that MVP award, but because they had a 1,900-yard rusher back there, and Derrick Henry, that probably hurt him a little bit, having a guy like Derrick Henry in the room. Whereas Allen had nobody. You got three big.
Well, he had plenty of other problems there outside of just Derrick Henry, by the way. But I mean, look, I'm projecting.
Dude, I think 4,100 yards and 41 touchdowns and 5 picks and 850 rushing, and being 14-3, whatever they were. I mean, regular season. That's what the award is. That's pretty fucking impressive.
Who was that though?
That's Lamar.
Well, that was Lamar. I'm talking about AJ before he got to Philly.
Okay. What about him?
No, I was saying, he was running, he was blocking in that scheme too before he got here.
But they weren't throwing to him in that scheme.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's got the opportunity here. I mean, I'm projecting, Sills, that teams aren't going to let us do what we did last year. They're going to do whatever it takes to not let us run for 2,500 yards.
I think you're wrong. I don't think they can do it. I'm in agreement with John. I don't think they could stop you. Right. I think.
Okay, so you think? Wait. So you think Brett Toth and Tyler Steen are good?
Now that is early on. I think there's probably going to be more of that in the air, and I think there's going to be more like turnover opportunity plays that the Eagles are going to throw because they're going to throw the ball until they get Landon back. But bro, once you get Landon back, there's nobody on that roster that can stop your run game. I just don't. Why in the world I'm just not going to deviate off that. I'm going to run the ball down your fucking throat. Like the Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to put
I'm good with that mentality.
On them.
I certainly don't have a problem with that mentality. I just don't know if it's going to work as good as this year as it did last year. That's my thought process on it. I don't know if it's going to work as good. I mean, look, special seasons, as John always says, are special for a reason. They're special. They're not easily duplicatable. They're not easily repeatable. You don't do them every year in and year out. You just don't. So this year, I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit more on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a perfectly fine thing. He's more than capable of doing it. He's been in the MVP conversation twice. He's led us to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years with Saquon and without Saquon. I'm not worried about that if the offense change. I'm not afraid of saying we might not be the same type of offense. I'm not of the impression the only way for the Eagles to win football games is to run the ball. That was the way they did it last year. That's not the only way they have to win.
You want me to? I'm going to throw something at you so that you can laugh. Okay. Last 2 years, there's been 4 players that have 8,000 yards and 55 touchdowns, passing and running. Do you know who they are?
How many players?
4.
4 in the last how many years?
2. 8,000 passing yards and 55 touchdowns total passing and running. 4 players have done that. Who are they?
Lamar, Josh, Jalen, and no Jalen?
No Lamar.
No Josh Allen?
Allen's 1.
Allen's 1. Is Mahomes 1?
Mahomes.
And
I'm going to show you a point to your point about numbers here in a second.
Who the heck are the other 2? Who are the other 2?
Okay. Trevor Lawrence.
What? I would have never guessed him.
And Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, I was thinking of guessing. Jared Goff.
Look at those numbers, and you go, and then you look at what you just said about Hurts. You go like this: Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff have thrown for 8,000 yards the last 2 years, 55 total touchdowns, running and passing, and you got guys by the name of Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff on that list, with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
All right, good. That's the losers list.
It sounds like it to me. Outside of Mahomes and Allen, I mean, right?
No. Allen's got to get the job done too, Big Sills.
Oh, I know. Allen sucks.
I'm not saying he sucks. He's my favorite quarterback in football. I've said that over and over again. I think he's a great quarterback. To sit here and say, okay, yeah, you don't ever have to win.
Think the Bills have to get it done? The Eagles are getting it done with Hurts.
Yeah, I think that's
the Bills have to get it done.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, look, I will agree with you on Lamar Jackson on this. I think Baltimore has built the team. Baltimore's built the team.
Dude, I'm so fucking done with Lamar. This guy doesn't deserve a single excuse.
He's a great player, though, dude.
I do. No shit, he's a great. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever laid eyes on.
Yep.
Okay, I know that, but I'm not. I hate this mindset of they don't have to win. It's like John. Like I know John and all these objective reporters who want to be the most objective. Who can be the most objective? Everybody. This is not the way. No, I care about winning and losing. Life is about winning and life is about losing. All right. In every realm of life, in every endeavor that one can take on, you win or you lose. Now we're grading quarterbacks and it's like, actually, wins and losses don't matter. No, they fucking do matter. How about that? They do matter. All right. Go and win, Lamar. Your team is good enough. Your defense is more than good enough. You got players all over the place. You can do whatever you want. Win! Or shut the fuck up. You're not a top quarterback until you win. I don't care. I hate that argument. I really do.
Let's get to the supers, dude. By the way, Battle Royale at the bottom of the hour. How about our boy, Xander? Playing hurt with COVID. Our boy, Philly 500, man.
500? Philly 500!
Man,
Is he down bad with COVID?
I think
Philly,
so,
I didn't know
man.
COVID was still a thing. Are you okay?
That's what I didn't either. I didn't even know it was.
Prince says, has a QB ever led the league in passing yards, won the Super Bowl? I know the answer, by the way.
Oh, man. I would have to say Namath. If you're going to go.
Because he said I know the answer, I'm going to guess it's no.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know. 7 bowls, Brady didn't lead the league in any one of those years?
No, the year he led, he got beat with that 19-0 team. So I'm going to assume that Prince knows it's probably no. No quarterback has ever done that. So, yeah.
All right, here we go. Brian says, QB1 starting to smell himself. I dare that guy to play like an asshole. Because we know that MF for Bazooka Tanner got that strap.
But Tom, I want my quarterback to smell himself. I want my quarterback to have an asshole attitude.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
a little humility was never the number one trait for a quarterback necessarily.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
right? Make sure he's got humility. Okay, I don't know about that. All right. Kyle says, Sills and Xander, didn't Will Anderson start a slow start his rookie year? Yeah, I don't think he had a great start, but he finished really strong. He almost won the defensive rookie of the year.
He did win. He did win it. Remember, that was the year that Stroud won the offensive rookie of the year.
And they had both. That's right.
So those two guys, they brought it home for Nick Caserio.
Yep. All right, good stuff. Let me keep going here. Kyle says, Sills, for the Bills week, how would you limit Josh Allen? He's a tough dude to limit.
Can't let him be both. So I'd make him try to beat me in the air.
No, I actually don't think so. I think you make him do it alone, like he always does.
You can't make him do both.
Yeah, but no. He's a magical player. You're not going to not have – he's going to be great. Take away all the other shit.
You've got to contain him. You can't let him break.
I don't think he's – I think he's unavoidable. That's my take. It's like no matter what I do, it's like your bets on Saquon. No matter what you do, he's going to run for the yards. With Josh Allen, I'm not trying to limit his greatness. I'm trying to make it harder for him to get anyone else involved in the game plan. Blanket the receivers extra hard. Take away the tight ends. Take away the running backs. All that shit.
I want him to beat me in the passing game. I think you have to go into a game plan trying to stop one of those entities. You can't let him get rolling running. If he gets rolling running,
he's not Josh Prescott, dude. Come on. Dakota had how many picks his last playoff game? Josh Allen actually puts his team in a good position. His team can't get the fuck
Josh Prescott. What's that? Who's that? Oh my God, are we getting ready for my boy?
Look, LJ's right though. I mean, I just said it about winning. Like whatever objective book nerd created the wins do not matter. No, wins matter. Like wins matter in everything. All right. Josh division title Allen. You can say it's a team. You can say whatever. All right. When we get to the end of the career and Jalen Hurts has multiple rings and Allen has none, I guarantee you people will hold Jalen in higher regard because he won.
Certain people have to pay for my attention and my.
Oh, that's right. I should have brought him up.
People have to pay.
BJ.
Some people have to pay for my attention. I don't give people
unpaid LJ post. You hate to see it.
Yeah, an unpaid LJ post. Yeah, because some people just have to pay for my attention. Just remember that. How you doing? So, hey, so you feel good about everything the way it's gone here, right?
Listen, corner, concern, safety, concern. Overall, think the team's in a good spot. Let's see what Vic can do. Remember, this time last year, too, the defense was not looking pretty in training camp. So still plenty of time left to go. That applies for every team, remember. That applies. I think Commanders are I am not out yet on my prediction that the Commanders could fall back to 3 in the East.
There we go. Thank you very much for paying LJ's payment. Thank you very much, Maniac.
They got problems at training camp. As much as you don't want to believe it.
I know. You have none. You have none. They have. I mean, I know.
Not all problems is created equal, Sileo.
That's right. Not every problem's created equal. You're called the defending world champions.
Yeah.
Comparing you to the Jets
our biggest problem is Keely Bingo. Dallas can't sign their number one player on their football team, and the Washington Commanders can't sign their best wide receiver. They're going backwards.
And you can't find two.
Jaden Daniels looked like a scrub in the preseason.
Going by committee, Jaden Daniels is a scrub.
He looked like a scrub.
Daniels is the best.
Dude, he threw a meatball to the other team in his preseason game.
In that division.
If you're going to hold the training camp practice against Hurts, I'm holding the preseason game where Jaden threw a worm burner into the defense's hands.
Still said that Herbert is better than Hurts. I say he's got more skill than Hurts. Doesn't mean he's a better quarterback than Hurts. He's just a better player, but talent doesn't win Super Bowls.
Herbert's not better than Jalen Hurts.
Oh, yes, he is.
No, he's
not. Oh, yeah, you're right. When someone looks at him and then
I'm 6'6" and I have a big arm. I don't give a shit what
Hurts is a mediocre passer. Let's be candid here about it. He's a mediocre passer and a really.
I might have to change our programming around and get you with Johnny Mack because you guys are very similar in that regard.
I mean, well, it's reality. That's why you're the only one that's in the room like that. By the way, are you doing something on Saturday with Johnny Mack?
No, I'm going cold for an Eagles game. What are you fucking crazy?
Holy
cow.
See, folks, that's the difference between living on the West Coast and East Coast. Is that right there? Hey, by the way, no, I thought maybe you had to mow somebody's lawn this weekend.
No, baby. I'm out of here. All right, I love you, brother. See you later.
Hey, I love you too, man. Hey, Big Z, I'll catch you over the weekend, man. Let me tell you this. Listen, we had Jim Kelly. We had Bernie Kosar. Okay, there you go, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Listen to this. We had Bernie Kosar, Jim Kelly. We've had a boatload of people. But do you know the number one thing that people kept saying to me? Where is the battle royale? I'm not kidding you. I get more requests for this thing than any guest, The Rock, anybody. And I've got to tell you, I'm not shitting, man. I see Mark behind there in the green room shaking. It's true. Joy Taylor is the only one because she's a skirt. Can you imagine that? They like to see Philly 500 and Mark Holmes. Now, I got to do this here. Philly 500 is playing hurt. I believe he's a COVID right now. And he said, I go, hey, dude. He goes, how do you think I could miss beating Mark Holmes up for fucking a half hour? Are you fucking crazy? Nothing could hold me down. And Mark Holmes, I'll tell you, there's a lot of optimism going on in Dallas right now. Gary Cobb was out there, and he said the Cowboys didn't look that bad. All right, without further ado, the much anticipated, and we have it here on a Friday for you, on a Football Friday, the legendary Mark Holmes, the number one creator for Dallas Cowboys, and the legendary man himself, that is Philly 500. He is playing hurt with COVID, and here he is. Folks,
what's happening, man?
Guys, how you doing?
Wonderful. Wonderful. We're doing good.
Mark, what's the matter, man?
What, are ratings down or something? You need, a dog to kick around and something here. Need some fresh meat for the troops. I mean, why am I here?
Wait a minute. Philly, I got to tell you what this guy said to me. He goes, listen, I thought you didn't love me anymore. And
I know.
I went like
2
this.
weeks in a row. I was like, hey, it's safe.
He complains either way, just like a Cowboy fan.
I
am a Cowboy fan.
I went like this. I said, hang on here for a minute. I go, what do you mean, man? People are getting ramped up. We got a lot of people. By the way, people were bitching that we didn't do it. So I said, I'm not kidding. I had Jim Kelly and some of the greatest players in the history of the National Football League on. They want to see you guys. So I'm going to start with you, Mark, and then I'm going to get to the legendary man himself playing. Hey, wait, first and foremost, Mark, what do you make of Philly 500 playing hurt here with COVID coming aboard here, man?
It's not like I don't come in here with hurt feelings every week. So how's that any different? I mean, seriously.
I'll play that game. I'll play that game.
I'll be honest with you.
I'll play that game.
500. He's a stand-up guy. Seriously. And I know a lot more about Philly 500 than a lot of people do, man. He goes through a whole lot of shit and things, and will show up. And I'm going to say that today is actually my dad's birthday, who just passed. He would have been 86.
Happy birthday, Dad.
I'm here
Happy
too.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Yeah. So, he's a stand-up guy. And of course, it's easy pickings to kick my teeth in right now as a Cowboy fan. So why wouldn't he show up? It's not it's going to be hard.
See, you're not playing this right, Mark. I'm going to help you out as one of the greatest broadcasters in the history of broadcasting. And I'm going to give you some insight to help you out. Okay. You need to tell everybody how great they are. You need to tell everybody how fucking wonderful their team is. And when you win on September 4th, that's when you jump off the top rope like the legendary Hulk Hogan used to, and you come down on top of Philly 500's head because you believe that you win. Because I'm going to tell you something. Before I get to Philly here, it's August 15th. I got a new name for the Eagle defense. You know what it is? You know, you had the no-name defense back in the day. You know what you have now? The unknown defense. On August 15th, they don't have a corner. They don't have a safety. They're going to go by committee on edge. They have to play a left guard that his name is Brett Mantooth. It looks like Tyler Steen has won that job at right guard. They've got a shitload of question marks. And you know how Trotter's winning that linebacker job? He's winning it because he's been the most consistent, not explosive.
That's a good thing. So that he's been consistent, is it not?
It is. So how are you feeling about those things I just said about your September 4th matchup? I'm talking to you, Mark.
Oh, you're talking about me?
Yeah, you.
Well,
You're
considering
the underdog.
I thought you were talking about, of course, the Philly 500 about how great he feels.
Oh, I'm going to get to him.
I'm going to say that, right now we got so many holes, it's not even fun. Our cornerback situation is Diggs won't be ready. I can pretty much guarantee you that one. In which case, we don't know who is going to be playing in the slot. Our offensive line, we're relying on a tackle to come back who left us wanting last year in Tyler Guyton, or Big Nate, an undrafted rookie free agent to start out at the season. If I go through and I look at ESPN position groups, the two position groups that they have us in the top 15 would be quarterback at 11 and wide receivers at 9. Everything else is like 17 or worse. That averages out to like the 17th best team in the NFL.
All right.
And my best player is unsigned because my owner enjoys stirring shit up 365 days a year. So feeling good about this? I'm not sure that I do.
How about you, Philly? I mean,
You got Mark thinking about the game. He hasn't thought about the game in 2 weeks. He's been only thinking about Micah Parsons.
That is the game, bro. That is the game.
Are you under the impression that Parsons is not going to walk out of one of those tunnels in Lincoln Financial on September 4th? You know he's rolling into that.
Let me ask you something.
Not missing that game, Philly.
By what point, though, him not practicing, is he going to force himself on a limited snap count?
Thank you.
He's not going to be ready.
Yep.
At what point do we get? I mean, we're getting close. So,
yes,
another week or two, we'll see.
And that's exactly what CeeDee Lamb said, that coming through with the holdout, that it basically, it stunted the season.
It does. It limits you health-wise, because what Philly just said, you're not going to be able to play 70 snaps. Philly's right. You're talking about a 35 snap count, and that's not going to be good enough in that Eagle game on that Thursday night to go out there with 35 snaps again. Now, look, they're going to be limited at guard, but hey, Philly, what did you make of all that? All those question marks, man. I mean, it's August 15th. And you said you don't know who's going to play safety or corner.
Well, I think that when it comes to the second corner spot and a safety spot, I think that's a very fair criticism, because I think you do got major question marks right now. I mean, look, Makuba went and missed last game, right? And what did we see? Sidney Brown go out and get hurt. And then what were we left with? Nothing, right? All the second corners, nobody's taking that job. So to me, those are the two areas that scare me. They still scare me more than the line. I think you could use depth, maybe another edge rusher, but I feel like that interior, that defensive line is going to be so good that I feel like they'll figure that out. But there are two legitimate questions right now at corner safety.
How about this, Philly? So they've moved Jalix Hunt behind Nolan Smith now, and they've moved him off the front line and first team, and he's getting second team reps now. I mean,
do you think that's
you think that's a traveling thing? Some people think that's a traveling thing.
That's what I thought. It's hard to know, because sometimes with Fangio, we saw this last year with Nakobe Dean. He didn't start one practice. He looked horrible. People were writing him off. And then you get to the week one and boom. So to me, does Fangio go, well, I know what he can do on the other side, but let's get him snaps over here so that we can help that rotation? I don't know.
Is Parsons going to be signed, in your opinion, by the game, in your opinion, Mark? Do you think he gets there?
Will he be signed or will he play? Because I think that's two different things.
Well, I don't really care about him signing if he doesn't play. Will he play on the 4th?
You're actually talking about he without getting a new contract, he's still $24 million a year. So we're talking about $1.5 million per game that I don't think he's going to not show up for, which would be more money than he's made for any game at before. And we all know Jerry Jones' playbook. This is what he always does. Last year, he said with CeeDee Lamb, I'm in no hurry to go up and get a deal done. And it was, I believe, the 21st of August when CeeDee got signed last year. So this is the third year in a row we've been doing this. We did this with Zach Martin. We did it with CeeDee, and now we're doing it with Micah. It makes no sense whatsoever, and it does nothing as far as making a team better. In fact, I think it makes the team worse.
What's your takeaway that Fox Sports came out and named the top 5 wide receivers in the NFL, and One was Jamar Chase. The other one was Justin Jefferson.
Mhm.
The other one was Ahmad St. Brown.
Mhm.
The other one was Malik Neighbors. And the other one was CeeDee Lamb. There was no A.J. Brown on that list. My contention would be, how could you put, a wide receiver on that list when you're the fourth worst passing offense? So, I mean, I get it. Now, my question to you would be, okay, are you good with CeeDee being the third best receiver in the game, or do you think he's the best receiver in the game?
He'll be the best one in the Eagles-Cowboys game. I can say that much. But here's the thing. If you want publicity, all you have to do is diss the Dallas Cowboy player. If you want publicity, say the Cowboys are going to be the worst, or the coach is going to be one and done, or that they're overrated, or that they're a Super Bowl contender. The bottom line is the Cowboys get used. And I'll be real with you. Denzel used the Cowboys in the same breath to promote his movie by going through and saying, I've been a Cowboy fan, for 60 years, and Jerry Jones, you ain't been to the big show. He brought more attention and used some of that Dallas Cowboys bullshit to pump himself up. So the reality is all of these ratings and things don't mean shit. What do you actually do on the field is what counts. And we'll start finding it out in the next 3 weeks.
What do you make of that, Philly? I mean,
Look, if you're a Cowboy, or you're a Cowboy player, you get a 15 to 20% bump just for wearing that helmet. You get credit for things you haven't done and who you are, what you are. So CeeDee Lamb, he's a very good receiver. I wouldn't put him as the best receiver in the division. He's not better than A.J. Brown. Okay, A.J. Brown getting ripped off. Well, that's just another case of, the Eagles have a super team. They have a super team, but we don't rank any of their players. None of them are ranked anywhere. I think the rankings are all full of shit. I think all of that stuff. I'm so tired of it. I don't care. Just keep winning. But A.J. Brown's the best receiver in that division. He's a top 5 receiver. Now, I don't know how anybody can say he's not.
Here's Mark for me, why I think it matters who the quarterback is. If you're Dak Prescott, you want a guy like CeeDee, you want a guy like Jamar Chase. If you're a guy like Josh Allen, you're a guy like Jalen, you're a guy like Lamar Jackson, you want somebody who's going to block in the run game and get you 1,500 yards. CeeDee Lamb's not going to go out there and put a hat on somebody in the middle of the field. That's not who he is in the run game. There's no coincidence that A.J. Brown blocked for Derrick Henry and now is blocked for Saquon Barkley. And so to me, when you get a dual threat guy like that, I got to tell you, I'm more on the A.J. Brown factor. I think that guy is probably – would this not be fair, Philly, that he's probably the most complete wide receiver in the game when it comes to catching and giving you 1,500 and knocking dudes out in the secondary?
I would think so. I don't know why they don't put him in the slot enough. I don't think they do, because I think, you ever see anybody stop him when he runs a slant?
No, ever.
It's impossible. So, I mean, I agree. I think he's
Mark,
a great receiver.
Do they ever put CeeDee out wide and put him at the Y and Z ever? Do they ever line
They
him
move
up?
him around. They move him around,
but
but
him mostly up in the slot.
he gets more work in the slot, and that's where having George Pickens is actually going to be able to really benefit this offense. He's better in the slot than he is outside, but he can play either position. And
sorry.
No,
This is where I'm, Mark, I'm going to tell you something here. You tell me if I see this number. If they start that Keely Ringo out there at corner, I think Dak's going for 300 and north of 300 yards, and I'm going to tell you why. Because here, I have record that shows this ain't a playoff game. So you can take the playoff conference.
It's not a playoff game.
It's not.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. This is not a playoff game. This is a regular season game.
True.
That guy's thrown for 458 yards against that football team in the past.
Well,
that guy's thrown for an average of 310 yards in every start that he's played as a start.
So who's their third receiver?
They got two.
Jalen Tolbert,
who's your second?
Turpin.
Wait, who's your second corner, Philly?
Well, whoever the second corner is going to be on Tolbert, right? Because you figure CeeDee Lamb's in the slot. I got Cooper DeJean on him. If Pickens is outside, I'm going to put Q on him. So that would leave my worst corner with their worst receiver. I'll
bet
take that
you they
matchup.
line up CD out wide.
If they're smart,
You'll probably have him outside.
but I'll tell you what,
Hey.
I'll take that too, because
this.
then you're taking him out of his best position.
I got to tell you, I think the Cowboys are going to, and this is what Gary Cobb was out there at camp. He saw CeeDee Lamb out wide. And I think CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. The Eagles don't have a second cornerback. The guy that they had that was earmarked, Keely Ringo. Hey, get this. You ready for this one, Mark? He was first team 2 weeks ago. And in a matter of 2 weeks, he's not taking one rep with the first team, the second team. Now he's on the third team. They don't have a second corner.
Good.
I mean,
Good.
And in the first 4 games, you've got Dak, you've got Mahomes, you've got Stafford, and you've got Mayfield. What do they all have in common? Dak has great regular season games, and this is the opener. Mahomes has won Super Bowls, and you have Stafford, who's won a Super Bowl, and you have Mayfield, who's owned the Eagles the last 3 games. So, I mean, if they don't figure that out.
The problem with this is that the Eagles will figure out how to give that other corner help, because Dallas is one-dimensional. If you know a team's going to pass, and can't run the ball, I think that it's going to hurt you.
This is true. Okay, I will say this is true. But here's the problem that you have that you haven't really had with the Cowboys before, is you actually have speed. If they end up using Kayvon Turpin, he has a lot of speed that you can use in the slot. And having George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, you basically have 2 number 1 guys. You have to – either one of those 2 guys can kill you. Now, I think that the Cowboys, the advantage that they actually have right here, and I'm going to say, I think Brian Schottenheimer is playing this wise, is they are not showing anything. It is a big mystery as to what they're going to come out. And the Cowboys' strength, of course, is going to be passing the football. Our running game, I don't know what's going to become of it. We all get excited about what happens in training camp, but that's not real football until you actually get on the field. Cowboys are going to have to throw the football, and it's going to be Dak's arm, and that's going against the weakness of your defense.
Well, and it's a weakness. You guys act like that we have no good secondary guys. Come on, it's kind of ridiculous. Look, I have to agree with Mark on one thing about Dak. He's really not that great of a quarterback. I agree with Mark on that, okay? Because Mark is correct. He's not good enough to take a team that Jerry Jones put 12 wins 3 straight years. He put a team that could win 3 straight 12-win seasons, and he couldn't take them any further than that. So I think he's really not that great of a quarterback, because a good quarterback would take him deep into the playoffs. And I think we have to think about Jerry Jones and the fact that maybe Jerry Jones is saying, why did I pay this quarterback gigantic money when he can't get the job done, when I give him the talent of a 12-win team 3 straight years? And so then you're telling me I got to be scared of him passing week 1? I don't think so.
Let me give you one little argument here, a little tad, okay? Over the course of the last 5 years, if we look at the quarterbacks that are in the NFC East, Dak Prescott has had to average 270 yards passing a game, okay? The next closest is Sam Howell at 228 yards. Carson Wentz had 218. Jalen Daniels, 209. The problem with the Cowboys is they have been one-dimensional. And the thing is, much like with Tony Romo, you either win with Dak or you lose with Dak. You're not a balanced team. And in the NFL, you must be balanced. I'm sorry. It's the truth. If you become one-dimensional, it becomes harder to perform.
The Eagles weren't balanced a year ago. The Eagles weren't balanced a year ago.
But 2 years ago,
you had a running game that ended up okay. In comparison,
and you bring up
to what
Wentz. I mean, Wentz went to that team won a Super Bowl, even though he got hurt
with 218 yards.
The league is built to throw. That's the problem. The league is built.
Go back to the Kango kid. Go back to the Kango kid before the show, before we got on. And go back to the quarterbacks that threw for the most yards. You had 53 TDs and 8,000 yards. And looking at Trevor Lawrence and all these guys, it's not yet. The league is made to throw the football. Yes, chicks dig the deep ball. But if you're talking about winning, you've got to be balanced. You have got to have that defensive lineman not know, is it going to be a run or a pass?
Right.
You've
right.
got to be able to
And
put a doubt in somebody's mind.
Because your quarterback isn't good enough to get the job done with a team that wins 12 straight, 12 straight wins, 3 straight years.
That team overperformed with the talent that Jerry Jones put together.
You take when you have the running back, right? Who's the running back they let go to Tennessee? Right? They had no problem. He's the greatest running back of all time.
Pollard?
Now
Tony Pollard, who had
stinks,
1 year
you
of having
love
1,000 yards.
Pollard was a great.
Tony Pollard. Oh my God. Tony Pollard wasn't as good as Miles Sanders, bro.
Mark, listen here. Philly, I'm going to say this to you.
Super Bowl with Miles Sanders.
Hey, let me say this to you, though. If Dak Prescott takes that team to a divisional round game, that fucking roster to a divisional round game, that'll be remarkable because I don't think that's a very good roster.
But I agree with you this year, this current iteration of who Dallas is. I don't think they're as good as previous years. But you can't tell me they weren't good in the past.
They were
good enough to win.
Mark, they were. Mark,
they had good pieces. But again, the biggest problem is you're top heavy. Once you get through that first layer, you're going to journeymen and no names. When we had to rely on Jason Peters, who couldn't play more than 25 plays in a game.
Listen, we lost Jason.
Come on, man.
Hey, come on, Jason Peters.
He had still some gas. He had still some gas in the tank.
We lost Peters and won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback.
Hey, let me ask you that since we're going there. You may lose Landon Dickerson for the opener against the Cowboys.
I think that's a safe bet. Like I would sit him out. We had
Dr. Chow on. We had Dr. Chow on with us, and he thinks that he's probably going to miss the opening week of the season.
Although he was walking around pretty good yesterday
with the beer bags, I dug that.
That guy's awesome.
With the beer bags, had the Miller Lights for both the Browns, and okay, what do you make of that? How big of a factor is that? Because you got a brand new starting right guard, and you have a brand new starting left guard against the Cowboys. Think it is, and you got a guy with a back injury, or it's coming off of a back injury, and Cam Jurgens. Are you concerned about the interior of the O-line?
No, not against Dallas. Dallas, and Mark will tell you that defensive line is suspect, especially the interior against the run. I think Steen's had a pretty good camp. He started slow. He's come along. He's had enough snaps before. Left guard, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's not Landon Dickerson, so it definitely hurts. But I think playing Dallas, and with Mozzie Smith out there and stuff. No, I think we'll be all right.
How about this? I got a question to ask you, Philly. Name me a position: safety, corner, edge, right guard, left guard. If Landon can't go, linebacker. You tell me in 7 positions that you'll have out of the 22 where Howie Roseman had an upgrade. Trotter's going to play for Dean. You're going to have maybe a committee playing for Sweat. You're going to have Sidney Brown, who can't tackle, playing for Gardner Johnson. You got Keely Ringo. Looks like the guy you can't replace right now. He's going to be Darius Slay. You're going to have Keely Ringo there. You've got Tyler Steen going in for Becton. You've got a guy going in for Landon Dickerson on the other side. You got Moro Ajomo, who I feel probably the most comfortable about. For Milton Williams, 7 positions.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman, where did he upgrade the offseason here on those replacements?
I don't know. I don't know that they've upgraded those replacements as of right now, as we sit here today, right? Will guys develop through the course of the year? That's a question we'll have to wait and see. But I do think he did upgrade some other positions. I think the running back position is way deeper than it was a year ago.
With A.J. Dillon.
I think the linebacking core is deeper than it was a year ago. I think the receivers are looking like we've got some really good young receivers. So I think that we're better in those areas, but I think it's fair to say, if you look at the corner, you look at the safety, right? I think those are positions where you can't say you upgraded. We don't even know, we don't know how far we've downgraded at this point. So, I think that's fair. The question is that going to hurt us enough that somebody's overtaken us? And my argument is going to be, I don't think so, because I think with the Eagles, at the end of the day, it's who can stop that running game. And that's what I think the Eagles are going to dare people to do.
Let me ask you something, Mark. This year, does it define Dak?
You know, with everything that's gone on with Jerry Jones, basically just telling you flat out, I do this for kicks and giggles, okay? Doing everything that I do, I just like the drama. I don't think that it really does. I don't think that this year, when you look at it and say Schottenheimer is a rookie coach, that basically you're kind of starting over as far as the team goes. And your best player, you've literally had him sitting out, and you don't have a running game. I'm not sure how you can look on this. I know everybody will say by the time the season's over, it'll be Dak's a choker. But you've got to have the pieces to really go ahead and compete. And, you know, the team will probably still win 9 or 10 games and probably perform better than what they probably should with the talent that they have. Listen, our interior defensive line is not good. Our secondary, we're relying on 2 guys to come back from injury. Our running game stinks. And we still have question marks on the offensive line.
I'm going to say this to you, and you tell me if you agree. Dak Prescott is not better than Danny White. Danny White got the divisional and NFC championship.
Say 3 NFC championship games, actually.
I mean, you can make the argument that it goes Aikman, Staubach, White, and then Romo and Dak you could flip coins on, where you could probably go like this, that those 2 guys. But I mean,
but but hold on, Sills. I will still say you had guys like Randy White, Ed Too Tall Jones, Tony Dorsett.
Now we're
Drew
talking
Pearson.
roster again. Okay.
Okay. Again, he had a whole lot more to work with on that roster than you look at with the Cowboys.
Is that how you look at Jalen Hurts? Is that Jalen Hurts has a really great roster and Jalen Hurts had a really
How
great...
can you not say he doesn't have a really great roster?
You can't.
Philly, you can shake your head all you want.
penalize
Now,
him for
listen to me. Let me be clear here. Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback, but there's a bunch of really good quarterbacks out there that don't have the opportunity that Jalen Hurts has. Now, you know, you've got a great GM, because if you really want to look at the difference between the Cowboys and the Eagles, Jerry Jones, and of course, your GM, it's night and day difference. We're sitting here trying to find reasons why not to sign Micah Parsons because he's worried that he might be paying somebody. Your guy says, okay, we fucked up on that contract. Let's move on and get somebody else to take care of this. That's the difference between these teams.
Well, I'll say this. I sent Mark 2 clips. I thought they were both very interesting. I don't know if he got them or watched them, but one of them was Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt Smith was talking about at some point, you can't blame Jerry Jones. He's not out there. He's not throwing the ball. He's not running the ball.
That's the guy who had the greatest offensive line that the Cowboys ever had.
Tom Brady saying, you know, basically talking about Joe Burrow, saying, great, you go out and you have big statistics throwing the ball. What are you doing to help the defense? What are you doing to help the team in the offseason? At some point, you have to take responsibility for what your team is. Now, you want to talk about Jalen Hurts and what he does. And, you know, Jalen Hurts, he went during their contract, you know, when he was getting an extension, he went and said, I don't want to screw the team with my contract. Let's set it up in a way, even if it's less money or however it's set up, so that you can go get players. Dak is getting $50 million, $60 million a cap hit.
Wait, let me say what he just said. Don't you think that contract, how many years in a row did you guys go 12 wins? Was it 3?
3 years.
3 years in a row. Prior to this season, it was 3 years in a row. Well, don't you think there's a coincidence Dak taking that $60 million that the team's gone sideways after that? I mean, don't you think he's hurt the team with that contract?
Say the team went sideways because take a look at what the team did before that. It was like every other year we were good, made the playoffs and so on.
I mean,
the best period of his time of being here was actually since he started getting paid. Now, I hear what you're saying about, you know, Dak had taken less money. I would follow that argument if you had said 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019, that when they were only paying him $680,000, that they were going out there and actually spending money, but they didn't. It's not the Cowboys' MO.
Let me say this to you, though. Brady never, ever made the most money at any time when he was in New England. He didn't make his money, right, Philly, until he got to Tampa Bay when he started making $45 million. He wanted to always reinvest in the roster, knowing full well if he reinvested in the roster by taking $10 million less, that he was going to make his roster more. So really, I think you got to put a little of this on Dak on looking and his agent going, okay, well, wait a minute. It's great for me to be paid. And by the way, people chasing bags of money, I'm not against that, Mark. I mean, I get it. But when you're chasing greatness, you've got to win with the team. And if Hurts is being able to go, you know what? Look at Jalen Hurts and Mahomes right now. Do you think there's any coincidence that those guys aren't top 10 paid guys? They're not they're not in the top 10. Mahomes is actually 12th on the list of highest paid quarterbacks. Hurts is now like 7th on that list when it comes to highest paid. Don't you think there's a coincidence to that?
But don't you think let me counter that with this. Because Jerry Jones waited on Dak and CDs, and right now Micah's, it's estimated that it's cost him $85 million. Okay? For no good reason. Because please tell me what waiting has done for you.
I'm going to tell you what it's done.
Yeah, but
More
Dak
publicity.
still wanted top dollar and was more worried about getting the most instead of helping that team.
I'm going to tell you what he's doing here. If you look at all the salaries and you look at Dak Prescott's signing bonus and you look at CD's signing bonus and you look at anyone's signing bonuses, they're lesser than any of the big quarterbacks that have signed with the guaranteed money. Jerry Jones gets these guys on less guaranteed cash. Look at CD. CD got a good deal, but dude, look at Jefferson's deal with the guaranteed money compared to Lamb's money. Where Jerry thinks he's saving money is look at the less on the guaranteed cash he's giving. Dak Prescott got, what was it, $79 million when it came to that to the guaranteed money, right?
The first time, yes.
Okay. Do you know what the guy in Buffalo just got? The guy in Buffalo got $100-something million on a guarantee. I mean, Jerry looks at it. I think he looks at it backwards. You see, Howie wants to give the money up front, and that lessens the cap. Jerry doesn't want to pay the money up front, and I think that hurts the back of your roster, Mark, and that's why you guys are in the position you're in.
But on the flip side, if you went ahead and get Micah Parsons' deal done, you don't have that hard $24 million. You basically will save yourself about $12 million. And you're sitting here with $32 million on the cap. So if you really wanted to sign somebody, you could. But the Cowboys, they just won't.
One last question for each of you here. For you, how are you feeling about Dak's preseason so far in his training camp? How do you think he looks going into this game September 4th?
What's amazing to me is he's had 2 interceptions in practice wearing pads. And he had 1 interception that happened 2 days or 3 days ago. And it's like breaking news. Dak Prescott with a pick 6. Dak Prescott has actually looked really, really good, especially with the deep ball with Pickens there. I think that you're going to see him well over 4,000 yards and well into the 30s with TD passes.
You think he leads the league in passing again?
I think it's possible. I think the Cowboys are going to have to rely on that to set up the run.
Philly, Hurts, his preseason and his training camp, you hear people saying that, the offense, they got handled by the Browns the other day.
That's what I heard, yeah.
In the joint practice. How do you think his preseason has gone?
Oh, it depends. Are we talking about Elliott Shore Parks? I read that every day because it's just funny to me. I truly believe Jalen Hurts is a gamer. When the game comes on and the lights come on, he steps up. So I think he'll be fine in that regard. I mean, I'm not worried about the offense skills. I'm worried about that secondary and safety spot. That second corner. But I gotta ask Mark one question because I just want to know this. This is not bad. I'm not going to give you a hard time today. I can't talk too long. But what's your take on this offer that Green Bay Packers apparently made Micah Parsons for Micah Parsons? the Green Bay Packers trying to trade and get him?
The reality is I'm sure that there's 31 teams that would like to make an offer and trade for him. Jerry Jones is doing this for his ego, his damn Netflix special and everything else. Jerry Jones gets off the fact that his team is worth $2.5 billion more than everybody else, and that everybody is following on every single move that he makes. He's not trading Micah Parsons. And if you want to know the reality about Dak Prescott and waiting to get those deals done, it's more publicity. And it's food for father. I'm sure I say that correctly. That you can say, well, he's the highest paid, and we're only going to go as far as he is. It's the tagline for everybody in every show. He's the highest paid out there. If you notice, everybody is staying below Dak Prescott because that is the drama that is the Cowboys.
If I were the Cowboys, I would trade Micah for Jordan Love and send Dak to Minnesota.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I think if you could get a lot for him, I mean, you got to think Kershaw Walker.
You got to rebuild the team, dude.
Yeah. I mean, jeez.
Bro, hanging
if the Cowboys, no, I'm going to tell you, if the Cowboys are now a younger team right now, they actually have some decent players. The biggest problem with them is having depth and stopping the run. If you were to go out there and sign a great lights-out defensive tackle, get yourself another cornerback and a legitimate running back, this would be a very formidable team. It's only 3 players. Only 3
Why don't you
players.
trade Micah Parsons to Philly for Carter?
No thanks. No thanks.
Why not? I mean, if 31 teams,
I don't want Parsons.
Micah Parsons to Philly for Jalen Carter. Would you do it, Mark?
No.
You wouldn't do it, Mark.
No.
Would you?
I don't want that Philly stank.
If I was a Cowboy,
I don't want nothing from Philly. Okay.
If I was a Cowboy, I would do it in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me?
Would you trade CD for AJ?
No.
There's nobody I would trade. I want from the Cowboys. Those guys have a losing in their mind. They're losers. Listen, this is a team that can't even practice. So they have to go to training camp in California for vacation. They got to go to a nice cool area. Everybody's in the heat, in the humidity, and they're in California. I think the Eagles next year, I think we should have training camp in Dallas. Just to let them know the real American team's here while Dallas is in California.
Oh my God.
They're soft, Sills.
Mark,
they're soft.
What kind of videos?
I'm going to say is you better not lose in 20 days, bro.
Don't worry. It ain't going to happen.
Because I've already got Leo Bridgewater already told him, if you guys lose, I'm driving to his house as soon as the game is over.
Let me tell you, I watched that team last week. They stink.
Hey,
they stink.
Mark, I got to tell you, man, I'm looking forward to this September 4th game because I think it's going to be more interesting than I thought it was because of some of the question marks on that defense. But we'll see. The Eagles still have that offense and that offensive line. So, hey, what do you got coming up here, man? What's the new video going to be? I'd like to know. What's the video here?
You've actually given me a little bit more hope here today than I had, of course. Kind of talking about the Eagles' defense and the holes that they have in there.
So that's what his next video is going to be. We got all these holes. Then he's going to get in the game and he's going to go, oh, shit. Oh, shit. They're good. They're
Philly,
good.
I got to tell you, bro, I love you, man, for doing this, man.
I'm taking it easy today after this. I'm not doing any videos. I'm getting ready for tomorrow's game. Right? You got to stream that game. So
you're streaming the whole game? How about you, Mark?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Definitely streaming the game.
Yeah,
guys, I can't tell you how I appreciate you guys and respect you guys so much for coming on the program.
I went easy on Mark today. I went.
You hear that, Mark?
I thought you were pretty easy on me.
I was.
This wasn't like Game Time Brian's show the other night. Jeez,
no
flip, man.
No,
wow.
I can't keep up with the my voice is going.
Guys, have a great weekend. Football all weekend long, man. Like you guys, love you guys, man. I appreciate it. Make sure you check out all of their fabulous channels, man. These two guys kick the serious ass out of everybody. #1 content creator for the Cowboys, and there he is right there. Your top guy and our guy right there, the champ, Philly 500. Get better, Philly. Get better, bro.
Feel better, son.
You
Thanks,
got
man.
it. Guys, thank you so
All right.
much. Have a great weekend, man. Love these guys. Great stuff, man. Absolutely love it, man. And get this, he came in hurt, man. And these two guys are going to be working it tomorrow. And so is Mark going to be working it. We appreciate that. Hey, listen, man, I think Dak and the Cowboys, I don't know if they're going to be in that game, but I do know this, man. There are a lot of question marks on that. I'm calling them the unknown defense. That's the Philadelphia unknown defense. Let me pay some bills here. The number one injury law firm in all of America is who? It is Morgan & Morgan. And let me add to this. Not only are they the number one injury law firm in America, but they also are in the world. And the reason is because they win. Simple as that, folks. From coast to coast and from around the world, Morgan & Morgan is the number one injury law firm when it comes to protecting families. For more info, please do me a favor. If you're ever injured, go to forthepeople.com/big cells or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big cells or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Cells sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the number one digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Big Sills National Football Show. Hit that like button here. Hey, man, what do you make of Jalix Hunt being demoted? I mean, that's something to keep an eye on. He's being demoted. And you're going to have committee at one edge. You got committee at one edge. And you're going to be playing Izia Uche and Aziz Ujlara. And Jalix Hunt has been demoted. He's lining up behind Nolan Smith. I mean, right? So Keely Ringo has not had a good camp. Has Jalix Hunt not had a good camp too? Is that what we're doing here? I mean, you're counting on that guy to take over for Joshua Sweat. Come on now. Abe, appreciate you coming aboard here, man. Thank you. Seals, does a slot wide receiver hold the same impact and respect as a wide receiver that plays outside? No, he does not. A guy in the slot plays against the third worst defensive player in the secondary, and the number 2 plays against the number 2 secondary corner, and the number 1 wide receiver plays against the number 1 corner. There's a reason why safeties don't make a shitload of money, and the corners do. All right? Here. He's right. Who has excelled? You know, it's funny. I haven't heard shit from Nolan Smith this training camp. I've heard nothing. Okay. Hey, benefit of the doubt. You're the champs. Here's what I hear. Mitchell is insane in camp. I would say this. That's right. I would go Mitchell and Morrow have been the guys that I've heard the most. And every time I get it, and I hear people talking to me about Jihad. By the way, that's not what I'm hearing from Vic. Seals, I got a better name. The can't get right defense, courtesy of Howie's bargain shopping Roseman. You know what? I'm going to tell you, man, at the end of this year, if that defense does not play like people are expecting it to play, that's going to go back to Howie. But then you know what Howie gets the benefit with the fans? Hey, we won a Super Bowl, and you're going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they won, rightfully so. Let me ask you this. Would you take one down year for one Super Bowl in a 2-year run? I would. I would. Wouldn't you? If you had a step back and you won one Super Bowl in 2 years, I would take that. How could you not? Right? Right. That's right. If they're in the room, and by the way, Yale, they're going to compete. They're totally going to compete. They're totally going to be a good football team this year. So if you win one Super Bowl, by the way, one Super Bowl, and wait, 2 Super Bowls in 3 years with 1 win. I don't know. Dude, only one? I said 2 years, 1 Super Bowl win. And if you have a down years, and then you're setting yourself up for 26 and 27, I'm with you, Sue. I'm with you, Kim. I would. Right. That's all you can ask for. Unrealistic expectations are being set on this team. Eagles have Timu defense because you spent $250 million on the offense to cover up Hurts' deficiencies. That's not the case. Dude, Jalen Hurts' contract is a bargain right now. It's a bargain. But you are spending a shitload of money on that side of the ball. There's only one player on the defensive side that makes double-digit money. One guy, okay? And it's the linebacker who makes 2 guys. Jordan Davis and the linebacker are the only guys making north of $10 million. That's a fact. It's one of the cheapest defenses in the league right now. Now, a lot of that has to do with youth. Mahomes needed a Super Bowl team in the Super Bowl because he played like a high school quarterback. You mean the one he beat you in? With Juju Smith-Schuster? That one? Is that what you're talking, Marcus? The Super Bowl he beat you in? With Juju Smith-Schuster? That one? That high school team? Yeah, probably. Travis Kelce, and then you had Juju Smith-Schuster and whomever. All right? Okay? Jalen Carter, I know what he'll get. I'm talking about right now, Junior. Right now. Hey, Bob, your Kansas City Chiefs football team is so well run. 3 straight Super Bowls. What is it? 4 and 5 years. Who is that? Oh, Freddie Pacheco, the fight doctor, is the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. The fight doctor. I mean, right? These guys won with dudes that sound like they were after a strip club. Oh, you mean the 3rd straight AFC championship they went to. Okay. Hey, Marcus, are you under the belief that you're a better franchise in Kansas City who's been to 3 straight Super Bowls, 1-1 against you guys in the Super Bowl and having beat you and won 3 Super Bowls and has been to the AFC championship game 8 straight years? Are you really under the impression you're a better franchise than them? Where? Sills glazing Chiefs, not surprised. Glazing? Okay. This is what he says glazing. They've been to 8 conference championship games. Andy Reid has been to the conference championship 8 straight years. They've been to 3 straight Super Bowls. They've won 2 of the last 3, and they've won 3 in the last 4. If that's glazing, okay. That's glazing? I think that's actually factual. Glazing? So let me ask you this. Is your definition of glazing the truth? Chiefs have more legal issues than Morgan & Morgan. Thanks for the names. You believe the Chiefs' time is up? Do I believe the Kansas City Chiefs' time's up? No, because of Mahomes. No. Patrick Mahomes has 6-7 years of great football ahead of him. No, I don't. Now, I think the franchise has to man up here and start putting better football players around him again. And I think that Brett Veach and Andy Reid need to do a really great job, in my opinion, of adding more players to that football franchise and that roster. I think they're kind of going backwards a bit when it comes to talent. Okay, I do. I think they're stepping backwards a little bit when it comes to talent here. I do. Kansas City is not. Okay, they are not out of a Super Bowl window when you have Patrick Mahomes. Isn't that crazy? Like you said, I mean, Matt Nagy's the OC. Matt Nagy's going to get in a conversation again for another head coaching job. The Chiefs' time is over. Okay, let me say something here. Those comments are so fucking stupid. Chiefs' time is over. Let me see here on something here. So wait a minute. Let's see, Mahomes. Okay. Hurts. So Patrick Mahomes is 2 years older than Jalen Hurts. And his fucking time is up, as he's saying. Patrick Mahomes is 2 years older. And you're trying to tell me his time is up. 2 years older. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. The guy's 2 years older and is a true pocket passer, but his time is up. Yeah. Because he's so much, he's so older. I'm with Yale. Mahomes has got 10 years, and they'll be in a Super Bowl window for the next decade. Trying to tell me Patrick Mahomes, 2 years older than, the Jalen Hurts. And Eagle fans will try to tell you that. Now, I do think this about the Chiefs, though. They got to get better, man, because I think that football team has slid back a bit. Okay, now I think they got to add more players. Now, hey, I think the Eagles have slid back. I don't think the Eagles didn't add any good players, except Campbell. Campbell looks like somebody. Mahomes has at least 8 to 10 years. I agree. Bob, you got some nerve talking about commies. You both got blown out. I'll tell you this. I think I disagree with Xander. And from what I'm hearing also, I think Washington right now, I think they're in a really great place. I think Washington's going to have a great year this year. I picked them. I thought they'd win the NFC East last year. I'm still doing it this year. Listen, they've added players. You've lost players. You know what you'll say? Well, they've added older players. Well, you've added players with no experience. And players that were cut by other teams. So pick your poison. We'll see which one ends up panning out, the older players or the inexperienced players. That's where you are on August 12th, or 15th. That's where you sit. Either the young players are going to pan out or the older players are going to deliver. The experience versus the lack of experience. And by the way, you're seeing it in both camps. The older guys are being monitored in Washington, and the young guys have not separated themselves from winning a job. Okay? Get this. See this here? I'm not saying this shit. Everyone else is saying it. Dude, I don't care what you fucking say, M. Reyes. You couldn't name me a corner right now in your football team that's worth the shit. And you couldn't name me a safety that's worth the shit. So whatever. Seals, do you think it's adjustment for Campbell going from Saban's style of defense to Fangio's? No. I think, Kyle, what is going to be a great advantage for him is how complex both are. Okay? Both are very complex defenses. Okay? I do. I think that, when you have to play in Nick Saban's defense, it's a very technically sound defense. That's why, to Kim's point and to some of you other points that you're saying is that, let me say this to you, man. Picking up that playbook, it's a thing. Says, we know the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl in recent memory, but we're not chopped liver. I didn't say you were. If you Google what NFC conference teams been to the most Super Bowls since 2000 era, it will say Eagles. Okay, great. I'm talking about right now, today. Right now, today. What's the best franchise in football? It's KC. Why? Because they have the trophies to prove it. You had the best 2024 season. No doubt. You're not the best franchise in the last 5 years. How can that be when they've been to 4 Super Bowls? Use some fucking common sense, dude. How can you constitute yourself? And you've been to 2 in the last 5 years. They've been to 4. Last time I checked, 4 beats 2 and 3 wins. Where do you get that from? Where are you getting that? How do you plug that in to make that make sense in your brain? Make it make sense to me. Okay, not right now. Okay, it's the Eagles. You're wrong. How is that? No, right now. How are you saying that you're the best when they've been the most consistent franchise in the last 5 years? How's that possible? Bro, I'm not adding with Philly math. Okay? I'm not. Okay? I'm not. Sills, would you have liked to play in Vic's defense? I'll stick with Jimmy Johnson's defense. But would I have played in that? Yeah, because it's not a two gap and it's a penetrating one technique. What I mean by that is you don't have to two gap in that defense. Two gapping sucks for a D lineman. It just stinks. Okay? But Jimmy's defense produced 2 Super Bowls. Or excuse me, 3 Super Bowls. Vic's got 1. Jimmy did it in a 5-year span. Well, Kim, I'm going to be biased. And also, I've got history on my side that Jimmy's defense won 3 Super Bowls. That'd be a good defense to be part of. Because that's a one-gap defense, too, and a penetrating type defense. Yeah, Butch was part of that, absolutely. A part of Jimmy's staff, right. Okay? I mean, right. Because we just beat them, even if that team is broken up already, we gotta see it first. Sorry? I mean, dude, you're not the same team you were on February 9th. But they have the better quarterback than you also. Are you going to try to tell me now Jalen's better than Mahomes? Because he's played good in the Super Bowls? Jalen doesn't play against Mahomes, and Mahomes doesn't play against Jalen Hurts. I'm sure you probably think that Mahomes or Hurts is better than Mahomes. So sometimes simpler defenses are better. Yes. Yes, absolutely. The simpler, the better. Because you know why, Kim? You can go simpler when you have more talent. If you've got a super talented football team, okay, and you're a super talented team, you don't have to have a complex defense. You just let your guys, you wind them up and let them go and run into walls. The better quarterback in Mahomes can't get past the 50-yard line in the Super Bowl. No, you're right. He sucks. I'll pull a Senor. No, you're right. He sucks. 3 MVPs in a Super Bowl. 5 conference championships in the last 6 years. You're right. He sucks. Right. Mahomes has already played his best game. He's regressing. He's only 2 years older than Hurts. How could he be regressing? He's only 2 years older. What the fuck are you talking about? Let's see this dumb take. This will be another L. No, you were right all last year, Sills. You are the chosen one when it comes to your predictions. 21, 22, 23, and 24, I'll be right. 24, you're right. You got me. Congratulations to you, kid. And you were one of the guys here. Senor's one of the guys that was telling me I was full of shit when he was 10-1 and 23. I was telling him his team sucked and he didn't believe me. Good night. Take that night off too, boy. Cares about that guy. Mahomes ain't the same guy. His ankle's busted. Why is Jalix Hunt being demoted? Or is he? Or is he? So let me get this right here. Let's reset. Let's reset the unknown defense. You have a committee playing cornerback 2, correct? You have a committee playing the strong side edge, correct? So you get 2 committees to try to replace Slay exactly what we said. Exactly what we said this offseason. You really think you're replacing these men? You're replacing Slay by committee. You're replacing the edge by committee. Yo, Sills, how can you stand there and stay so calm when these damn idiots? Very simple. It's Mikey. Very simple. I've been doing this for 40 years. You think they get under my skin? Absolutely not. And because you know why? They have a right to be a fan, Mikey. They can root for their guy. I don't have a problem with that. They look stupid when they write these things, but they don't see that. It's okay. That's the part of being a fan. These are fans writing this stuff. There's no common sense to it. They think they know, but they don't. Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. People pick one. I mean, dude, that's not a real debate. Mahomes or Hurts. Mahomes or anybody. Dude, the only guy you compare Mahomes to is Brady. You kidding? Is Brady. Got to be kidding me. Right? It's Brady you compare them to. You don't compare him to anybody else. The guy's a generational football. That's generational when you're talking about a player like that. Lamar Jackson, Xander's right on him. Okay, Xander's right. To validate that guy's great talent, to validate that guy's great talent, he has to win one, as Allen does. Here, Dan Marino never really validated the greatness that he is. Nobody's ever going to deny his greatness. They're not. Everyone knows Dan Marino is the greatest passer in the history of the sport. But nobody would ever put the context in where he's the greatest quarterback in the history of the sport. Troy Aikman's got 3 rings. How many people in here believe that Troy Aikman's better than Dan Marino? How many people believe that? That Troy Aikman with 3 Super Bowl rings is better than Dan Marino? Who would say that? Let's see how smart some of you are. Is Aikman better? Is Aikman better than Marino? Not a better player, not by far, but a better teammate, yes. Okay. I'll go there. All right. Okay. Right. Marino's the best in the class of 83. Elway and Kelly's in that group. Boy, John Elway, man. Elway, Marino. Boy, Marino's just a fabulous player. Spectacular player. Revolutionized the passing game on what you see the NFL is today. I don't have a problem with that, Kim. John Elway had more skill because he could run, and he was a physical runner. But my point would be this. Watch this. Do you know why the people in here are saying Aikman is better than Marino? Because they have to validate Hurts. Do you understand that? It's a setup. And many people bid on it as usual. Okay? Because it sets up for Aikman and Hurts. Of course, Eagle fans are going to say Aikman's better than Marino. Why? Well, because Aikman won more than Marino. Marino's a better ball player, though. And so Eagle fans will look at Aikman because they see a lot of similarities in Aikman being on a good football team. Sileo said this weeks ago, rather have a great team quarterback than a great quarterback. Yeah, I'd rather have the great team. Absolutely, because I could get to a Super Bowl with an average quarterback. That's correct. You can get to a Super Bowl with an average quarterback. It's been proven. Absolutely. If you have the better team, you don't have to have an elite quarterback. You guys bid on that one too. Garoppolo and Colin Kaepernick have gotten to Super Bowls. They weren't spectacular. They had really great teams. Okay? I mean, having the better team. And by the way, that's not a diss on anybody. Who wouldn't want to be on a better team? So they give me the best opportunity to win. Right? You always want to be on the better football team. I mean, the better football team is going to beat, especially when you have balance on defense and offense and in the O-line. Your quarterback doesn't have to be sensational. Think about this. Okay? Look at, like, this is what I asked you with, this is when I asked about, Brock Purdy. Here's a great example. Brock Purdy, many of you guys think he's mediocre. Well, he got to a Super Bowl. So you're saying that a mediocre quarterback could take a team to a Super Bowl. And somehow the people in Philly have tied that into me saying, well, he must think that Jalen Hurts is mediocre. No. I'm just saying you don't have to have a great quarterback to get to the game. Okay? I mean, you don't have to. Jim Plunkett got to multiple games and won them. I wouldn't constitute Jim Plunkett as being a sensational football player. Would you? And by the way, I mean, am I right when I say that? You could make the argument that Bob Greasy is a mediocre quarterback. He got to multiple games and won it. Right? I'm out of here, Sills. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate it. Getting to the game and winning it is different. Ask your boy Jim Kelly. All right. Bob Greasy got to 2 and won it. Jim Plunkett got to 2 and won them. I wouldn't call them guys great. Would you? Ethan, in one of the Super Bowls that Bob Greasy won, he threw 11 passes. Would you constitute that as being a great player? If we are talking about the here and now, it's the Eagles since they are the defending champion. Bro, you really think you've been the best franchise the last 5 years? Do you really believe that? How about this? Do you really believe that you've been the best franchise the last 3 years when they've been to 3 Super Bowls in a row and winning 2 of them? I'm not going to debate the fact that you just come off the winning of the Super Bowl, but to sit there and tell me that you're the best franchise in football right now when the Chiefs have been to 3 of them and won 2 is asinine. That's insane. Aikman was a balanced game manager. Marino was a pass-happy guy. Bro, Marino was the best passer the league has ever seen. He's the best football player at that position, throwing the ball, we've ever seen since Aaron Rodgers. There's no debating that. None. It's a great take here. Earl Morrall won a Super Bowl. Undefeated season. Bob was on the bench. Yeah, well, Morrall didn't play in that Super Bowl. Greasy did. And actually, Morrall got the 2. Helped get the Dolphins to that Super Bowl against the Washington Redskins. And he was also in Super Bowl 3 as a starting quarterback and was the MVP of the league that year, actually, when the Colts played the Jets and were upset by the Jets. So there's another guy, I didn't think about it, but there's another guy that helped lead the team to 2 Super Bowls, was Earl Morrall. You don't have to be elite, dude. You don't have to be an elite quarterback to get your team to a Super Bowl. Earl Morrall's another one. Actually, Earl Morrall was an assistant coach at the University of Miami for me my sophomore year, at Miami. And Earl Morrall was his former MVP of the league when he was with the Baltimore Colts. And he was the quarterback coach with the Canes. And he coached Kelly, Kozar, Testaverde. Can you imagine that? That's who we had on our team, all first-round draft choices. They were on the same team. How'd you like to have that as your quarterback group in college? Here's my guys when I was in college, and Steve Walsh. When I was in college, I had Jim Kelly, Bernie Kosar, Vinny Testaverde, and Walsh. They all were first-round draft choices. That's why they called it quarterback U. Okay, I mean, how about that, Jack? We have a picture down at the University of Miami. All them guys were on the same ball team. I don't think Walsh was there yet until my junior year. But because Jim had left in 84. And because Jim had left in 84. We had those guys all on one team at one time. Sales, can 2 things be true? Of course. Either mediocre or not, you can make it to a Super Bowl, matters about the team, hence Brady, Peyton, Rodgers, and Mahomes. Got to have the team to get there. It's not a quarterback. Get this. That's not a quarterback-driven accomplishment. That's a team accomplishment. The Super Bowl is not a quarterback accomplishment. It's a team accomplishment. I'm not saying the quarterback's not instrumental. You got to have a good one. You can't have a shitty quarterback. You're not going anywhere. I don't care how good. Here's a great example. The Minnesota Vikings have, I think, a really good roster. But look at the quarterback. They're a headless team. Right? I don't know who they are. I don't know who those guys, what they're going to get out of JJ McCarthy. Right? Nobody knows shit about the upcoming season. Agreed. All I know is right now, Paul, as I open the show, you don't know who's playing corner. You don't know who's playing safety. You got a committee playing edge. You don't know who's playing left guard. You don't know where Jalen Hunt's going to line up. Trotter's been consistent, which is a good thing. Hopefully he can hold the fort down until Jahad Campbell can get up to speed. Okay? It's a reason why Marino never won a Super Bowl. He could pass the rock versus regular season teams, but that's where it ends. His passing game never won a Super Bowl. Well, if you want to expand on that, Dan Marino in his entire time playing, his 18 years playing in Miami, he had one 1,000-yard back. His name was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yes, from UCLA. Also, hard to believe. One 1,000-yard back in 17 years. They never had a run game. You got to have a run game to win a Super Bowl. If you don't have the run game, you're not winning. Imagine that. Marino never wanted to develop a run game. That's where Hurts is better than Marino. Because Hurts knows he needs a run game. Marino refused to install and want to have a run game. Jimmy told me that. When he got there, he wanted to get a running game going to help Marino. Okay? so that he could help Marino. Marino didn't want any part of that. Didn't want any part of it. And when he didn't want any part of it, that's one of the reasons why they didn't win the Super Bowl, because they didn't have balance. Think about that Super Bowl that they won against the 49ers won against Marino. They had Roger Craig. Roger Craig was like 1,000-yard receiver and 1,000-yard running back for Montana. He was like the first Marshall Faulk before Marshall Faulk. Sills, can you tell the story of the steak fry before the Fiesta Bowl? Okay. Jerome Brown's involved in this. All right. So it was Penn State versus Miami. And we had black sweatsuits. They had white sweatsuits. We were the outlaws. They were the good guys. And this thing went all kinds of racial lines. By the way, we got convicts and Catholics coming up in 16 days, Notre Dame, Miami. Can you imagine today doing this in the media, calling 90% of my team, black players, black football players, convicts? I mean, calling 90% of my teammates convicts because they're black. That would be insane. Catholics versus the convicts. You're not doing that today with social media. You're just not. Calling a bunch of black kids convicts? Okay. We always thought that was very racist, but nobody cared. Anyway, so we get the Phoenix. We get to the Fiesta Bowl. So they were making some really stupid comments about Jimmy, and it was really pretty racy about the black guys. They said that the guys on our team couldn't read or what have you, and they were really insulting him. Then Jerome got up, and he said this, "Hey, did the Japanese sit down before they bombed Pearl Harbor?" And I looked at him and I went, "The Japanese lost the war, dude." I remember, he goes, "No, fellas, let's get out of here." I'm walking out. I look over at Jerome. I go, "Dude, the Japanese lost the fucking war. Are you crazy?" We're walking out. Joe Paterno's there. We were just so stupid as kids. I mean, 100 million people watched us that night. It is the most watched college football game of all time. That night. Jerome, did the Japanese sit down with the Americans before they bombed Pearl Harbor? I was like, what the fuck? Oh my God. And we were all in fatigues. Ugh. That stuff was so stupid back then, man. It was. I'm getting asked a lot of questions about Notre Dame, Miami. And, I made some pretty salty comments myself. We beat them 58-7. And I said, touchdown, Jesus took a knee. That didn't go over well either. And Jerome was like, Notre Dame is just roadkill on our schedule. And by the way, we used to get death threats. But there was something else too. Supposedly there's going to be a story coming out in ESPN. I'm going to be interviewed next week, and I got to do a Zoom with ESPN. And because they're going to be airing Notre Dame, Miami in 16 days. And they asked me what I thought of Notre Dame. I said, well, Notre Dame still to this day, I can't stand them. Not as much as the Gators, but yeah. But then again, we beat Notre Dame 78-7 in 2 games I played against them. So, I mean, whatever. Yeah. Convicts versus the Catholics. They asked me if I was involved. I go, well, the first 2 games we played, we just beat the piss out of them. Jerry Fouts said I would never start at Notre Dame. And that's the place on my recruiting trip where I told everybody, where's the chicks? He goes, they're at St. Mary's. I go, yeah, no chicks, no Dan. So she tells the truth. So be truthful in that interview. Always. What's not to be truthful? We beat the fucking shit out of them, and they were never games. We beat them. We gave them their biggest beating in the history of their program. We beat them by 51 points. And that was my team. What other truth do I need? 51-7? What's the truth? That's scoreboards don't lie, my friend. Scoreboards don't lie. All right, let me pay some bills here. Number 1 injury law firm in all of America and the world is what? It is Morgan & Morgan. Absolutely the number 1 reason that they are number 1 is because why? They win. Here's something else. They don't get paid unless you win. You know, many people don't realize that Morgan & Morgan, how it was founded. John Morgan's brother was permanently injured and he became a paraplegic. And John went on a crusade to make sure that he defends families all across this great country and making sure insurance companies or companies don't take advantage of you. Many people think that he just got into this because just like everybody else, you see all these commercials, this was personal to him. His brother became a paraplegic. God rest his soul. And truly, this is the pilgrimage that he and Ultima have been on ever since they built this company. Do me a favor, guys. If you're ever injured, go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. and pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio, or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Football all weekend. Football starts tonight, too, by the way. Tennessee, Atlanta, Kansas City, Seattle. Then you got Monday Night Football, too, right? Cincinnati and Washington. A precursor to what the Super Bowl could be like in February of 2026. Those Commanders and Jaden Daniels taking that team to a Super Bowl in his second year. Whew. Man, that kind of put the stamp on that guy's career if he could do something like that. But that'd be interesting to watch. Hey, don't forget, Eagles coverage will continue with Xander and John. They've got, again, this weekend, the Browns. That'll be interesting to keep an eye on them. Also, too, on Sunday, they got football, Monday Night Football as well. Guys, have yourself an absolutely fabulous weekend. We got a great lineup for you guys next week. It's Jets next week also. It's the last week of exhibition football before we get into the regular season. So we're right here. Have a great weekend. God bless. We'll see you Monday going 2 to 6, and we'll see you on the flip side.